What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. We are back again. And man, right before we go on the air, we were expecting to get the Superman trailer this week, and I think it hits on Thursday morning. Well, James Gunn posted a trailer. A poster with a moving poster with music to boot. And I think it's really giving you a feel of the tone overall, and a good tag phrase with it, and all that. What I guess didn't have a good tag phrase was Kraven, because man, that thing ate it badly. So we're going to discuss, not only we've kind of exhausted with what do they do now with the Spider-Verse. We really know really not much, but the question is, how much does it really hurt Sony though? We kept saying, they'll be all right. They have other things that they're fine. This is a big bum, big bum. So we'll discuss that. What are those drones in the sky? Yeah, I'm not letting that up. Let's talk about that too. Even John Rocha probably is aware of it at this point. Everybody's probably aware of it at this point. So we'll discuss that and more on the show. It is the Kristian Harloff Show with myself, John Rocha. Here we go. Welcome back. Sandwich in the mouth. And try to get rid of, I forgot how short my intro was. So bringing in my co-host today, hopefully unmuted. He is John Rocha. Here he is. What's up, buddy?
This guy. Don't eat when you're hosting. Don't eat when you're hosting Schmodown Live. Don't eat. And he's got half a sandwich in his mouth.
You know why though? I'll tell you why. I gotta be honest with you. No, here's the reason.
Go ahead.
It's because it's been, there's been too many days because my schedule's so crazy in the morning now. I have a breakfast, whether it's a sandwich, bowl of oatmeal, whatever it is. And I come in the studio and I work until whatever it is. And then I get on 1 o'clock is the show. And I haven't been eating lunch. And then next thing you know, it's 3:30. I'm shooting another video and I go the whole day without eating anything. And I'm miserable. So I said, not today. Not today, John. I said, what I'm going to do is I ran across the street. There's this deli, grabbed myself a sandwich, and do what I had to do.
Nice.
So there you go. Portuguese deli. It's nice. Anyway.
Oh, nice.
So did you? I know I texted you over the weekend, and I said that there was they were having the Saturday night's main event at the Nassau Coliseum. What'd you think of I watched the whole show. Did you like the show?
I liked the show for what it was, mostly because I like Jesse coming back to play
it was great.
Commentator. I mean, a lot of people on social media were posted what I was thinking too, is that he turned Cody into a heel by just the things he was saying, which are the same things he used to say about Hogan, right? So you could absolutely take the commentary from this match, replace it with him saying Hulk Hogan instead of Cody, and it would be the exact same stuff he used to say back in the day about the face. Yep. So I thought it was great to see that. It had some nice life to it because McAfee, I don't know the guy that's the ESPN guy that hosts with him, and a little bit cold. They didn't have as much life as I was hoping for a Saturday night's main event. It was too much of a mix of the modern with the past that didn't 100% work.
It should have been the whole past.
Yes, the whole thing.
I was expecting even the in between interviews.
Yes,
the way that they used to do it and all that, and the belt. They got to keep that belt. I know they're not going to, but they got to keep that belt. Everybody was talking about that belt. Yeah,
I agree.
That belt it's got so much more personality than that big hunk of shit that they have. That thing sucks. That big stupid W belt. Hate that stupid thing.
Don't disagree. I haven't liked a belt like this, I think, since the spinning belt, and I like this.
I didn't like the spinning belt. I thought it looked like a toy. It's like the last one I think I liked was the kind of the steroided version of the Winged Eagle belt, the big globe one that came in right afterwards. That was, to me, that's Stone Cold and all those guys had it. Anyway, I liked the card. I thought it was good. I really wanted to go.
I know you were minutes away.
It was very close to me, and I was like, I just couldn't do it because of everything that was going on, being getting over being sick. I'm finally better. I'm going to see Mufasa tonight, so that'll be interesting. You going to see that tonight?
I don't know. We'll see. It's a full theater with press and regular people, and I don't know, man. I don't think I want to do that. We'll see. I might go down, and if it's hairy and it's way too full, I'll just walk out.
Well, we did talk about we are going to talk about Kraven because you've seen Kraven.
I have twice.
Yeah. You saw that movie?
Just in case we review it on Geek Buddies, I went again this weekend.
there are movies that you haven't seen that are good. Why? Twice? You can't. You don't
It's
remember. You just saw it.
Everything in my life is situational. You know this.
I mean, that's look. Hey, more power to you. I think that you can actually hire someone to kick you in the balls if you like too. So one of the things that we are excited about though is this Superman trailer, right? So Superman in general, and then the actual look at that. So this is the Dark Horizon. So Superman stars David Cornsweet as Clark Kent. Oh, and is that the beginning? Oh, sorry. I jump past the whole damn thing. First poster for James Gunn Superman. There's the poster itself. Warner Brothers Pictures has unveiled the first motion poster for James Gunn Superman, the moving one sheet, coming alongside a clip confirming that the film's first trailer will launch on Thursday. The trailer is being shown off to press shortly, and so descriptions and further details are expected soon. The motion poster clip uses a new version of John Williams' Superman score. The new film will follow Superman as he looks to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringings, guided by human kindness in a world that sees kindness as old-fashioned. Kind of like today, that's true. Superman stars David Cornsweet as Clark Kent, yada, yada, yada. Filming of the movie was wrapped in July. Okay, so let's see. I guess I can play without doing the music. I don't want to get copyright, so I'll just do the music itself and or the image itself rather, and that's it for people who didn't see it. Anyway, I think that you summarized. I saw your tweet. I think you summarized it very well. Where it's like you get this beacon of hope, and this uplifting trailer and him flying through the sky with that. And I again saw your tweet. I didn't really hear a lot of the Hans Zimmer in there. Maybe in the very beginning, I didn't really hear a mixture of it. I heard way more of like an homage to John Williams, which I lost my mind to. I've been saying this forever, that I think that this should be the theme. I think the same way that James Bond has his theme. It's like no matter who James Bond will be for the next 100 years, you're always going to have the da-na-na-na-na-na-na. And I think Superman needs one of those. I knew people would be like, oh, you can't be original? You can't have to use a John Williams score. It's like, yeah, because it signifies who he is. And it's not beat for beat. It's a different rendition of it, which I loved. I loved what they did so far. I don't know about the trailer, but the announcement, got to give it a chef's kiss on this one.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was a really smart way to go about it. It's a really beautiful poster. I like that it's a motion poster for people who want to, find a way to lay that into whatever they're doing, like you just did watching it from Dark Horizons, or the still poster, which they released as well as a companion. I thought it's beautiful. I bet like millions of people are putting this as their iPhone wallpaper this morning as soon as they saw it. So it's great. I like the theme. If this is the actual theme, we'll see. Or if this is just a trailer theme, we'll see. But yes, I think the way that you can hear the John Williams beats that are buried in there, kind of like what they did with the Batman Danny Elfman theme and the Justice League stuff that they did. You see it kind of buried in there in certain moments. But I think the Zimmer one is the larger boom, boom, that kind of stuff. And then, of course, hearing the woman singing is very Gladiator-esque. So it's got that kind of element to, or humming, whatever she's doing. It's got that kind of element to it. So it feels powerful. It feels heroic. It feels inspirational. And dare I say, man, when I listened to it like 4 or 5 times, and I was like, this makes me feel like hope. And I like that feeling. I like that vibe. That's the energy they want people to feel from the theme before they go see the movie. It's
true. I think that if you don't respond to this movie, this song, I don't think you should see the movie because you don't get it.
I think I agree with you 100%.
You don't get it. It's like if you listen to that and think that it's lame, then go watch something else, because that theme is just, it was incredible. It was incredible. It's funny because right before we started shooting Matt Serra's show, and he hadn't seen it, so I showed him. He goes, "It passes the nipple test. My nipples are." He started screaming at the thing. It was hilarious. So I'm really excited for this movie, man. I'm excited for the trailer. Because now it does give me hope for the trailer itself, as far as the overall vibe of it. Like it seems like, oh, okay, he gets it. He gets it. Like that's what he's putting out. And I think it was very creative on how he's shooting up into the sky, and you got that music. I do hear what you're saying, that in the beginning of it does sound a little Zimmer-esque, but I think I don't think that this. I think this is the actual theme. I really do think this is the actual theme.
I hope it is. It's great
because I just feel there's too much effort to be put into that particular theme to only use it for a teaser. Like,
well, I mean, they want to do the homage, don't they? And this is kind of like what Bryan Singer did in 2005, I think it was, with Superman Returns. They wanted to bring this energy of the 1978 Superman.
right.
What I think James is doing is honoring the people who like the original Superman and the people who like me, who like Man of Steel as well, and finding that mixture, right? And I think that's what's going to be interesting about this film. Will he satisfy all the people? Well, I guess he won't satisfy all, but will he reach out to all the different sections of Superman fandom and their versions that they want to see? So I think this is a good way to kind of get people excited. There was a trailer event today, and I don't know if that means like they're going to show it to a certain select few people so they can tweet about it, and then we'll all see it on Thursday. And I wonder if it'll be a teaser, like a minute, or if it'll be like a honking 2 to 3 minute trailer that we'll really enjoy and sink into.
I think that it's going to be a shorter one. From what the rumors are, but very smart how they're doing all this. They're making it, I mean, even screening it for a select amount of critics. It makes it feel like it's like an event. It makes it feel like it's special, right? Even if you're like, oh, how come I can't see it? It's like you still go, hey, wait a minute, you're that happy about it and you're that excited about it that you want to show people and start getting the word out about it before anybody else can. Really smart. I think it's really smart.
I also think dropping it right before Christmas is super smart. I mean, this is a season of hope and joy and possibilities, and the new year's about to come. So the excitement of hopefully a year that'll bring you joy and success. So all of that, we're all in that kind of a mood rather, and mentality. And so bringing this out right now is smart as well.
Very smart. And the tagline was what now? Look up. Was that what it?
Something like that. Yeah.
No, what was the actual tagline? Did people tell us in the?
Let's see here. It says, I don't want to play it.
They're gonna tell us in the chat.
It just says look up.
Look up, right? So, which is all the way around smart, right? Because it's look up, because A, look up, there's a Superman, and B, as you were just mentioning, look up. It's a good time to be hopeful. Keep your head up, keep your chin up, look up. You know what I mean? It's like that is it. And when you're reading that summary, it's still in the world that we are living in today, and people like just kind of thumbing their nose up, really, basically, of the goody two shoes. And Superman's always suffered that, a lot of times has suffered that. It's like, oh, here he is, the Boy Scout. Like, we need this guy, and incorporating that into the actual movie itself, I think is very, very smart. I think it really signifies who he is.
Like most good taglines, it works on multiple levels. As you said, look up, there's Superman in the sky. What has Superman always symbolized? Coming in to help, so you look up, it's a bird, it's a plane. It honors the original phrasing there. But also, there's a religious aspect to it all, right? Mm-hmm. If you're feeling lost, if you're feeling down, look up, God, whatever God you believe in. A lot of people look up to that God and look up in the sky to ask for help or forgiveness or aid or comfort. In time of need or pain. And so it works on multiple levels. So a very simple tagline. You and I, we watch wrestling. Something as simple as yes or what consumes an entire fandom. Look up. Simple, to the point, succinct, smart, man.
Well, if you look up right now in Jersey, you'll see a bunch of drones.
Hey!
And you know this story, right?
Yeah, the drones, of course.
Which is crazy. Like, I'll tell you, out of all the stuff that's been happening with this story, I don't like any of the potential outcomes of what it is. I really the three outcomes, like there's so many different outcomes, but the ones that they actually think that they could be the three most likely are the three scariest.
Okay.
What have you heard? B, what do you think?
I know I've been hearing about this stuff in Jersey since November. Yeah. I've kind of ignored it because I've been like, it's probably just a bunch of people messing around and trying to mess with people or whatever. But it's now consumed the pop culture zeitgeist, and everyone's talking about it now and having their ideas. And this has gone on to like New York and Maryland and Florida and a number of places. And now the FBI is involved and local authorities involved. People are calling Congress, their Congress members, to find out what's going on. And no one seems to have an answer. I thought we have intelligence agencies in this country.
Well, that's the problem, John. That's the.
I mean,
see,
it's been a month since these things were cited, and nothing. You know,
more than a month. Overall, about a year. They started popping up first. They started popping up first in December over Langley. That's the first part over Langley. For 12 days. There's or maybe a little bit more than that. But this time around, there's a bunch of them. And there's a lot, and there's many different. Schumer just called for answers on it. There's many different people that are out in their Congress, and the answer of we don't know what it is. First of all, yes, you do. The official statement was this definitively that it wasn't foreign. That was definitively that it wasn't foreign because someone said it was Iran and they were shooting off these things from a mothership in the ocean. They said it definitively wasn't. Then they definitively said that it wasn't the United States military doing tests. Right?
Oh, okay.
That's what they definitively said. No, on both those, the official statement. I believe one of those things. No, I will tell you straight up. And the other theory is that, of course, that it's non-human intelligence. I don't believe that's the case.
You don't think it's UFOs or anything?
No, I don't think. I mean, they're clearly UFOs. They are UFOs because nobody knows what they are. But the question is, are they non-human? No, I don't believe that they are. I think, and this is the scary one, which is. The biggest rumor out there is that these are ours and that we are trying to detect for nuclear stuff.
Ooh,
that's the biggest.
What do you mean detect for nuclear stuff? Like people have people.
The rumor is that these things are out there searching for nukes on our surface that were apparently detected or told smuggled. And they're not telling the public because people are going to go Google it. It's the craziest. It's the craziest one so far, and I hope that it's not the case. So
it's been a year. Like, what is so? Maybe you think it might be the government, like just using these drones to go over certain areas because they've heard tips, or whatever.
I don't really. There's a lot of people that said that's not the case. It's just these. There's multiple ones coming from out of the ocean that are coming, and there's multiple ones the size of SUVs. It's the other reason I don't think it's another country. It's like, I mean, depending on who it is, it's like the amount of money that would have to go into how much one drone, not the size of a car, costs to make, as opposed to 40 of them. Yeah. So,
well, to shoot it down too. I didn't know that. I found out that over the weekend that you can't shoot them down.
They tried. A couple of them did. They evaded it, and they've been evading detection. So there's a lot of who knows. There's no the answer is that they know what it is, and they're just not telling anybody. So we'll see. Anyway, who knows what the hell it is? But I'll tell you what I do know what it is.
What are you telling?
AG1. Oh, that's right. That'll keep you healthy, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you about some AG1. And they are not UFOs. I know exactly what they are. They are identified, and they're the best. Here's AG1. Let me tell you about AG1. I've told you about AG1, and it's the best time to tell you about AG1 because it's the holiday season. And it is so hard, I'm telling you from experience, to stay motivated and to eat healthy during the holidays. It's always a challenge. So for me, what I make sure that I do, I have AG1 when I start off during the day. I know that if I'm going to have all my vitamins in one shot, I got AG1. Before AG1 was a part of my daily routine, I was all over the place. I was scattered, and I was like, oh, maybe I should do vitamins, but it takes 75 and different things and mix and match. It was a mess, so I couldn't do it. So for me, as you guys have seen, you guys have been so kind and complimenting. You're like, oh, I can tell you've lost weight. You look healthy. AG1. The travel packs are great, too, because if I don't have the morning routine for some reason gets thrown off, and I'm like, oh man, I got the travel pack, I'm on the train, I put it in a water bottle, done. What's so good about AG1 is it just sleep quality, more energy, it's wonderful. Try this new year. Try AG1 for yourself. It is the perfect time to start a new healthy habit, and that's why I've been partnering with them for so long. They've been with us since I started this show. And AG1 is offering new subscribers free $76 gift when you sign up. You get a welcome kit, you get a bottle of D3K2, and you get 5 free travel packs in your first box. So make sure to check out drinkag1.com/bigthing to get this offer. That is drinkag1.com/bigthing to start your new year on a healthier note. You will thank me, I promise. Yeah, you think you're going to thank me? You're going to thank me for JOYMODE. That's right. You love JOYMODE. You should love JOYMODE. If you didn't try JOYMODE, I don't know what to tell you. This is the best. You got to say goodbye to the weak erections with JOYMODE Sexual Performance Booster, baby. This all-natural supplement, it's designed to enhance blood flow. It gives you firmer, more reliable erections, guys. That's right. Step it up. Because JOYMODE is not about better sex. I can tell you that right now. It's not. It's like when you go to the gym and you have the pre-workout stuff. That's what this is. It's amazing. It boosts health also. You didn't know that. It enhances your athletic performance. It's expertly formulated and it's backed by science. It's proven. It is the best. You mix a pack you put a pack in water, and then you feel the effects within 45 minutes. Take control with JOYMODE. I'm telling you, you get a boost anywhere, anytime. You never miss a beat. It features just 4 simple, proven ingredients. Unlike prescription options that involve doctor visits and managing refills, JOYMODE provides a straightforward, effective solution. Just embrace a natural way to boost your performance without the complications and the side effects. You'll love it. I'm telling you, every time I talk about it, I got all my co-hosts knocking on the door asking for it. So you'll love it. Enjoy it. If you're looking to take your games to the next level, go to tryjoymode.com. Use that code BIGTHING for 20% off. That's right. TRY JOYMODE. TRYJOYMODE. Tryjoymode.com and use that code BIGTHING. You get 20% off. All righty.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, you bet your tits it's good stuff.
Hey-o.
Hey, so we got a lot more to discuss, as we just mentioned.
Wait. Where are we at questions? Where are we at?
Yeah. Oh, so now you get. Oh, I know you so well. I know you so well. You are over this. You are ready to kick people's asses. You are so sick of those texts.
Where are we at?
Oh, am I? Tell me if I'm right.
Answer the question, please.
You're in a good spot. You're at 25 already.
25, guys. We got to get to 100 today.
You want to get to 100?
I want to get to 100 today.
Make it hard.
Whatever you want to ask, whatever you want to talk about, I want to get to 100 today because Roxy beat one last week. Coy and Winston won last week. Yeah. Roxy the week before. They're all dancing around like they're king shits and king queens on this queen shits on this island, and I'm a little sick of it. It's Monday. We've got Superman news. We've got drone news. We've got more coming up that Kristian's going to drop. We got to get to 100. Let's talk about it.
Wow.
Schmodown questions, real life questions, movie questions. We got everything. Controversial questions. I don't care. Let's go.
You probably just got about 50 questions from Evil John Madden.
Let's go, Evil. Bring it.
All right. So we got right now 25 going into this, and we're going to get into what you talked about before. You tortured yourself with this movie again, but Kraven, man. Kraven did not do well, and that is being nice. Yeah. So this movie, which I think cost a good amount to make,
well over 100.
It cost a little well over 100. Is that true? All right. It didn't even make that globally. With the numbers in, Sony's Kraven the Hunter debuted to 11 million domestically for opening weekend, for a further 15 million internationally, an outright bomb for the $110 million budget.
There you go.
Domestically, the film had the lowest opening in the studio's Marvel canon, with its third place 11 million 3-day total, far behind the lackluster 15 for Madam Web.
Yeah.
The 3 non-Venom Sony Marvel films of Morbius, Madam Web, and now Kraven have taken in just under 300 million at the global box office to date. Yuck. Thanks. Those are terrible numbers. Even if Kraven is able to add another 30 to 60 to that gross by the time it's done, no chance it makes 60. In contrast, the Venom trilogy has grossed 1.83 billion from a combined production budget of just 300 million. The 2 Spider-Verse films have grossed 1.1 billion from a combined production budget of 200 million. Finally, the Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy has pulled in just shy of 4 billion with a combined 535 million production budget. Moana 2 dominated the domestic box office with a further 26.6, bringing its total up to 337 million domestically, 717 million worldwide. Wicked came in second with 22 million, pushing its domestic total to 359 million and its worldwide to 525. Gladiator 2 was fourth with 7.8 million, which brings its domestic total to 145. And Lord of the Rings debuted in fifth with a disastrous 4.6 million, though the film feels to have been essentially dumped by the distributor with little marketing. And there's a reason why that I just found out today, by the way, why the movie was made. Did you see the movie?
Yeah. Which one? Kraven?
No, the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, the Rohirrim. I haven't watched that one yet. I'll watch that one tomorrow.
Okay. I think
I've not heard good things, and it barely made any money.
I think I might be the only person who really liked it.
Oh, really?
I really liked the movie. I really liked it, but apparently there's a reason why they made it. So I'm gonna I'll bring that up in just a little bit. But but anyway, this let's start with the numbers of Moana. Might not hit that billion. I was with you for a little bit that it was going to make it. The only reason I think now is because both Mufasa and Sonic are right around the corner.
Yep.
And so the families and the kids are going to have other things to watch besides Moana. So I think that now, when it was the only game in town, it had a shot. But I think there's no way Wicked makes $1 billion. I don't know. Did you say it was going to make $1 billion?
It's now dropping off so much that I don't think it.
Now the second one's got a shot to make $1 billion. I'll tell you that.
The second Wicked? Oh, part 2.
Yeah.
Yes. Fair point.
Yeah.
Going to spread. Yeah.
After next year, with all the with all the dance, sing-alongs, and all that shit, and people are doing everything that they're going to be doing with it. But look, Gladiator 2, Moana, those are all success stories. The Lord of the Rings bombing, that's they'll recover. Does Sony recover? And I'm not talking about with the Spider-Verse. We know this stuff already. We know the answer is that they're going to basically stop doing this, and they should. But we were giving them a pass, right? Because they're like, well, it's not the only thing that they do. They have the video games and everything else too. But this is a really big miss, and 2 really big misses in the same year. Who's held accountable for this?
It's a good question, because Rothman isn't going to hold himself accountable for this,
right?
And because he's like, well, this is we had success with Venom. I think the worst thing that happened for Sony was that Venom was a success, because they spent these last few movies chasing that dragon. They were trying to recapture the magic of Venom. Like, somehow this 90-minute hunk of crap made $875 million or whatever it was. So we need to repeat this formula, because this is clearly what people want, right? Instead of realizing it was just a timing situation, a combo of factors, and it made all this money, let's do a little bit better on the second one. Let's spend a little more time on the script, a little more time in getting a good director. And no offense to
Andy,
who's directed this. I mean, the second one, but like that one was terrible, and the third one wasn't much better. And it was a law of diminishing returns. It's just like Transformers, right? Eventually, Michael Bay hit that zenith of those billion for 2 films, and then the 5th one. By the time we got to the 5th one, nobody was going anymore. That's what I think is unfair about Kraven. Madam Web is a much worse movie.
Right.
But I think the timing of this for Kraven, that's why it's doing so bad, which I feel bad for Eric Taylor.
And it's enough is enough. Because
enough is enough. Right. The fans are saying, we don't want this anymore, clearly.
Your core audience has to support it first. If your core audience is not there, then it's not going to spread to everybody else. Like the core audience is there for, like, obviously the movies like Endgame and Infinity War and stuff like that. The core audience is there, and it expanded out so big and created new fans. Not that we're going to see every Marvel thing, but because hey, I've been on this journey and I want to check this out, and this is like a big event, so I'm going to go see it, right? So we were just talking about with Superman, right? You're making it like a big event to get the word out there, so people are going to want to see it. And granted, look, it's Superman, it's the Avengers as compared to a guy who got a lion on his head, so but if a good movie's a good movie, but if the fans don't want to go, there's going to be no excitement around it whatsoever.
This is the thing you look at, is because I think this is what they were smart to stop finally, right? They finally we're going to stop torturing people and putting out all this money. They paid, high level talent. They met their quotes. They negotiated deals for these directors, and they spent a lot of money on these movies, and you see the law of diminishing returns here. So putting a pause makes sense, but if all you're doing is putting a pause to put the same people back in charge of this universe, all you're doing is just stopping the wound and then cutting yourself all over again a couple of years later. They need to completely remove the people who have worked on these type of movies in the production side of things, the executive side of things, move them completely away from this, bringing a new executive who's going to be in charge of it all with a vision, an idea, is going to attract good filmmakers, good writers, good actors, and slowly but surely. But look what James Gunn is doing in DC. He has absolutely revamped the DC brand. People are excited, and that's what you need, someone to come in who's going to understand how to work this thing, right? It's like a team, right? The Cleveland Browns, they need to get a new coach. All these teams need to get new coaches in the NFL. because the players aren't responding anymore. Players are fighting on the sideline with coaches and with each other. You got to bring in a steadying influence, right? And so that's what you need to do here.
Yeah.
And I think they're absolutely going to either cast a new Spider-Man or bring back Andrew and Toby in some way to kind of smooth the transition in this whole situation. That's what needs to happen here.
I don't disagree, but I don't know what the contract says. And this is what I've been saying about
Yeah, right. Exactly.
This
we
is
don't
what
know.
Yeah, because I think if the contract says that they are allowed to make other live action Spider-Man movies, because clearly they can make Spider-Man movies or Peter Parker because they're animated version.
Yeah.
But if the contract says that while that's happening, they can't do other live action Spider-Man movies, then I understand. If the contract does not say that, then every one of those executives should be fired. Because how you don't make a Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield standalone movie the second those two movies, that the No Way Home is done, the second that's done, you release the third Andrew movie, the fourth Tobey movie, and then you make a movie with the two of them instead of. And for people to go, oh, terrible idea. Is it a worse idea than Kraven the Hunter? Is it a worse idea than Madam Web? No, you guarantee you get a shot at putting them. But if the contract says they can't, then I would explain it. I don't know what the contract looks like. I have no idea.
I don't think we would have been hearing that there were conversations if there wasn't a possibility to bring in their own Spider-Man in the Sony universe. Because I think for sure they were like, well, you could play around with the multiverse, and certainly they did that in both the MCU and Sony. So we could have Tom Holland be the MCU Spider-Man, then we could have our own Spider-Man, and then maybe there's an adventure where they come together. We just saw that in No Way Home. So we can make a deal. And I think they probably were exploring that, but they thought, well, look, Venom made this much money, so let's go down this route for a bit while the MCU is successful. And then down the road, maybe we bring Tom back into the fold. And look, Tom just signed that Sony deal to produce movies with Sony. So maybe there is a possibility to have Tom come in for one Spider-Man movie as you revamp this thing and pass the torch on to a Miles Morales or another Spider-Man and move on from it. I don't know. So there's possibilities on that end, but yeah, I agree with you. You got to look at the contract and see what the situation is.
And and so, then Aaron Taylor Johnson will not get hurt from this.
I hope not, because he's about to lead that 28 years later, and they're talking about him for Bond. So
he's not going to hurt it because I didn't see the movie you did. Was he the reason the movie was terrible?
No, the writing is the movie.
Right.
The reason he was the best part of the movie, to be honest.
Right. And he's got that thing. He's lucky because there's a lot of people that don't have that thing. We're just like, he's like, oh yeah, he's great, but the movie was terrible. He's been in a lot of those movies that even if it wasn't even terrible, a movie that bombed. Like look at the Fall Guy, which I liked. Movie bombed. He's in that, and he was great in that. He doesn't get hurt from that. Granted, he didn't star in it. Now there are those people out there for sure. The executives that go, oh wait, they tried to lead a movie with that guy. They tried to do a movie with him, and it did terrible. Let's put him in other movies where he's just kind of the supporting character. I do think he is a leading man. I do think that he does have that. I think that whoever's picking movies for him is picking the wrong movies. Well, I shouldn't just say that because then he was in Nosferatu and he was great in Nosferatu.
It was great in Nosferatu. I agree with you.
Right. So I mean, maybe they tried to capitalize on the superhero chip whenever that was put together, and it was just the wrong one. And he'd already been in the MCU before, but he wasn't the lead in it. So I don't know. I think he can rebound. I think he's fine. I think that he'll be. I think 28 years later, he was very excited to. I saw his interview with Josh Horowitz and what he said about how excited he was for that. And I think that you could still give him Bond, and you would be fine by doing so.
Yeah. But I think who gets hurt though is Ariana DeBose coming out of this situation. I mean, these last few films, Wish bombed like crazy.
Right.
Now bombs, and so coming out of an Oscar to have these films. It's very similar to Halle Berry winning that Oscar in Monsters Ball, and then Catwoman comes out and is crap. Now she wasn't the lead of this movie, but she was the main female lead of this movie, and so it's like this. It's a shame because she's in it, but she's not in it as much as she needs to be, and so it becomes a ridiculous situation where she does.
It's almost like with Juno Temple in that last movie, in the last Venom movie, right?
Yeah, right.
But I think the thing with Ariana DeBose is that I don't think she gets hurt in being cast in movies. I think that she's very talented. She got the voice of an angel, obviously. She is super talented, and I think she'll be in a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I happen anything I hear about her is how great she is.
Yes.
My personal opinion is that she doesn't have the it factor for a leading woman. My personal opinion.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
I think because even in the West Side Story, she wasn't the lead.
No, she isn't. It was Ziegler. Right.
She absolutely shined in the role that she was in West Side Story. She was a standout in it. But there is, look, in anything, there are some times that look at tag teams in wrestling.
Come on now.
Look at tag teams in wrestling. There's sometimes you're like, man, Jim the Anvil Neidhart was a great tag team wrestler.
Right.
Couldn't cut it as a singles wrestler.
No.
You know what I mean? And it's like one of those things where it's like there's just some people who have will shine each and every time you put them. Will probably get nominated for Best Supporting Actress again. As a lead, I don't think she's got it. I don't think she's got the it factor for a lead. But not everybody does.
Yeah.
But
I mean, maybe she's got the lead chops for smaller independent films, middle budget films. But you might be right. Maybe she doesn't have that franchise it thing.
Right.
Because Rachel's run on to do Snow White and a bunch of other things. She's leading a play now on Broadway with Romeo and Juliet and getting incredible reviews for her performance. So she's a lead. She radiates lead. Maybe Ariana isn't necessarily a lead for the bigger stuff, but can be a lead for the smaller stuff. And that's okay. You know, and look, she came from being 20th on the call sheet for Hamilton to blow up to be as big as she's blown up to be and win an Oscar.
She might not want to be the lead. She might. I mean, everybody, I guess, kind of. They'll always say they don't want to be, but it kind of does. But she can have a career, a very successful career, all the way through. So, What I'm curious, and you mentioned Rachel Ziegler. The thing with her is that it's not her talent that could get her knocked off. Of the pedestal. It's her online persona that could get her knocked off of certain things that I wonder. But look, Snow White's going to be a big test on a lot of different things, right? Because there are two ways that it could go. Yeah. And the one way is that, look, if it does bad, then it's going to give every single person ammo to say, "Oh yeah, hey, you sunk this movie." They're going to blame it on her, and I think a lot of finger pointing should be directed at her, honestly, if it bombs. However, I think those same people, myself included, if it turns out to be like, hey, this movie crushed, and the little girls that were excited to see this movie weren't paying attention to any of the online stuff, and they wanted to go see it, and they did, and it crushed, and it made a lot of money, those people should say, hey, the movie made money, and that's it, and you move on. But
you can't win. I mean, as a female actress, you can't win nowadays. You really can't. It's rarity, right? I mean, Daisy really didn't do shit on social media, say anything negative, whatever, and people have it out for her and still have it out for her, right? And Rachel's she's Latina, okay? There's going to be opinionated. She's going to be opinionated. Selena Gomez is opinionated. Jennifer Lopez is opinionated. Latinas are opinionated. And there's nothing wrong with that. In our culture, let's just accept it. It's not a big deal. What Rachel is doing is not a big deal for a lot of us. But for some people who are already predisposed not to like her or have issues with her speaking out of turn, some of the men who get offended that she's talking about an approach that they don't like because all they want is traditional stuff.
I think it's more than that.
They get hurt. But how many of us were saying the right thing at 22 years old? That's what I find ironic.
That I don't disagree with.
Sitting behind their mic, crying on their YouTube videos.
How
many people were saying the right things at 22?
I don't disagree with you there. When you're 22, 23 years old, there are lots of things that people say that didn't have a microphone in front of them, didn't have all this stuff, and then and we're like, "Oop, that would have gotten me in trouble if the camera would have been on me there." However, I don't mean she isn't. But wait. However, at 22, 23 years old, we also didn't have personal publicists. We also didn't have agents and managers and people to say, "Hey, we are," and we also at 22, 23-year-olds, we're not brands or working for big brands, right?
True.
There are certain times and certain things that I couldn't agree with you more, that you should be as opinionated as you want to be, especially on your own personal platforms. There are other times when you're saying things about a movie that you're in that you got to be careful because you have to understand the fan base that was there prior, and it's business. So I agree with 65% of what you said.
Well, I think you're right in the business side of things. Look, I'm not saying she shouldn't get criticized. Everyone's got a right to be praised and criticized, honestly. But I think what you're saying is correct. But if you look at it, I look at it as a human being. She's got a right to say what she wants to say. But on the other side, I think you're right on this. there are responsibilities. If you're leading a franchise, if you're leading an IP, if you're going to represent a company, you have to understand the audience so that when you respond to a question, you are factoring in how to convey your opinion with a soft landing, you know? And so where you're respecting the tradition, but we're going in a new direction. We're going this, you know, this route, you know, look, the Cinderella film with Camila Cabello, Kay Cannon, same point of view, right? Want to turn her into a girl boss. And that was the same, and that, you know, varying opinions on how that turned out. Yeah. But this is the same kind of attitude they're having. Yeah, but there was I agree. There was a better way to say it.
That's it. That's all it is. To me, that's all it is. Because someone brought up and this is the kind of stuff that was brought up. Someone's like, "Well, Mel Gibson can say what he says, and you defend him, but what Rachel says." It's like, no, Mel Gibson, when he was saying all that stuff at the time, wasn't promoting a movie, and if he was, no one was hiring Mel Gibson for a long freaking time. So he was not promoting a movie. Like he wasn't talking. It's like he wasn't playing Schindler when he said his things. You know what I mean? Like it's like you know what I mean? Like, so if you're promoting a movie and it's like, okay, she was talking about the movie that she's in. That's the difference. And it's like, so, you know, that's the first thing people say. Well, wait a minute, Kevin Spacey and Mel Gibson and this, no, that's not. Those are so different on so many different levels. So
everything is case specific, and I think we've unfortunately on social media and a lot of places, and at times I've been guilty of this too. So I'm not trying to say I'm somehow holier than thou on this, but we sometimes fall into these generalizations, and I think we have to take it on a case by case basis. And if I would love to encourage 2025 to be a year of like more grace for people, because people are going to mistake. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to say the wrong things. They're going to stumble over their words sometimes. And what if we spent more time being like, okay, I get it, what they're trying to do. Now, if they're mean or evil or they're purposely spiteful or trying to prod, that's a whole nother ballgame, right? But like talking as openly as she did about their approach. I don't disagree with you that there was a better way to say that.
That's all I'm saying. I think that I think that there's hate attached to this, which is silly, right? It's like, and people will say, I saw some asshole face on my Instagram when I was, because I basically was saying this, but it was a shorter version. He's like, look at this older guy talking about a Snow White movie. What are you talking? Focus on something else, buddy. And I'm like, I'm talking about the business side of it. I'm the first person, as you know me well enough, that this movie is A, really, really good. I'm going to say as much. And B, I thought she was great in Hunger Games. I have no, I would be ridiculous to hold this as a vendetta against somebody. What the hell do I care? You see, it's her career, not mine. But I can also, I'm allowed to say, hey, I just thought that these words, as you said, I don't think that they were handled the right way. I also think it was a big fail on the publicist every single time, you know, to go out there in the same way that for a long time, like very different circumstance, but like Kathleen Kennedy should have had a publicist and never did. And that's why she doesn't make the announcements anymore at the D23s and everything else. Filoni and Favreau do it all the time now. Right. There's a reason. There's a reason why.
Yeah. You got to, there's that middle ground, right? You got to understand, like, you got a right to speak your mind, but you also got to understand how to say these things so they have the maximum effect and people don't come after you quite in the same sizes that they do when you just kind of pop off. You know, it's a dangerous situation. Certainly I've popped off on the internet. People have come after me. That's the game. Exactly. That's the game. Whether they're actually telling the truth about what I said or not, it's a whole nother thing. But like, they're manufacturing it for their own needs, that's a whole nother situation. But that's part of the game. Do you know what I'm saying? You got to understand, if you're going to be opinionated, people are going to come after you. And so you got to decide for yourself, am I okay with this? Or can I handle this? And I think too much there's a naivete amongst these stars who want to be indignant and who want to be, you know, how can I say this? They want to be abrasive for diversity or abrasive for representation, but then it becomes a situation where like, well, I shut down all my social media. And there's if you're going to shoot your mouth off, you're going to handle the consequences. That's the game.
Also, I think that it sometimes they come to realize though that the bubble is bigger than Los Angeles.
That's a great point. I think a lot of us, even us who are way, way down on this level of fame, of course, you're more famous than me, but like we know, Kristian, like we go outside this LA bubble and we're like, wait, what? And certainly you in New York, I'm sure you're experiencing it in different ways you didn't experience living here on the West Coast.
It's one of the main reasons I got out of LA is because it's like you don't get that here. It's just I'm just saying in general, people are. It's just more. It's almost like better shit to do. It's like there's more stuff to. But it's just there's so much that and we don't have to get into it forever. But it just seems like sometimes people are saying certain things or doing certain things because they're hoping they're going to get a retweet from it. They're hoping that, oh, wait, maybe, I'm giving a fist bump moment, so hopefully someone sees it and likes it. Or maybe someone will start following me because I'm fighting the same fight they are, where they don't really give a shit about the fight. They just care about getting more likes. And I'm like, it's so clear and it's right there to me that it got really gross.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying that there's tons of people who are legit, like, doing it because they're passionate about it. But I'm just saying that LA kind of turned into the cesspool for that.
Well, even down here, like in the small area of San Diego that I live in, there's none of that here. I mean, people walk around wearing the nerd shirts every once in a while. I see it, but everyone's just going on with their lives, trying to pay their bills, man. I don't think a lot of people are obsessed with like, who the hell is starring in this, and have they race swapped this character? Like, people is like, is it a good movie? Is it a good TV show? That's all I care about. I'm not going to be on social media for hours going at people like that.
Yeah, so, I can't even tell. I literally I've been checking my social media a lot for more about the drone stories. That's about it. Right, to find more information about it. And there's, like I said, even then, so many just conflicting stories, but nobody really knows what the hell it is. All right, so pronounce this for me. The Lord of the Rings. It's War of Rohirrim. How do you
Rohirrim?
Whatever. All right, so here's the story, because I'm gonna read this out because this is what we mentioned beforehand. We mentioned this is one of the movies that ate it this week. It was fast tracked to retain the rights. Is apparently the reason why it was fast tracked. Warner Brothers New Line Cinema released their animated feature, The Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim, in cinemas this weekend, and the results were pretty disastrous. Given a small budget of just $30 million, it won't impact the bottom line. Even so, the film opened to mixed, poor official critical reviews. I have to be honest, that really surprises me. I am just so not a critic. I just am not. Like, I'm so far away from the critic's opinion. Like, I could not. I can guarantee you that if there's a movie that Bibiani loves, I probably hate it, and the opposite. If he hates something, I probably love it. He's tweeting about this movie. The lowest for any Rings film to date, and not a great deal of love from audiences either, with a B cinema score. I don't think enough people have seen it, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
By the end of Sunday, the film will have a domestic opening of just 4.6 million, double its international opening weekend last week, but still not that good. Now, Exhibitor Relations has revealed a quote from a press release indicating that Warner's has reportedly been refreshingly transparent about the film's gestation, saying, it was announced in June of 2021, Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim was fast-tracked to ensure that New Line Cinema did not lose the film adaptation rights for Tolkien's novels with the Lord of the Rings trio. Peter Jackson, Fran Walsh, and Phillips Boyens worked through a creative vision for the live-action movies in the Lord of the Rings series of films. The movie has stirred debate online, with quite a few defenders saying the lack of any real publicity for the movies is officially what killed it, rather than a question of quality over its content. Again, we'll talk business. I get it. Because guess what happens? They go, hey, we need to figure out how to keep the rights. Well, can we get a movie out? We can do a Gollum movie. Can you get it out by 2024? No. Are you sure? No, we can't. But Andy wants to do it. Everybody wants to do it. We're good. Peter wants to do it. We're good. Can you get it by 2024? No chance. Well, 2026 we can get it out. Well, then what do we do? I have an idea. What do you got, Ralph? You want to make an animated movie? Animated movie? For what? Like what? Just do like an anime movie. How much can we make it for? 25 million? And that's it. We're basically just paying 25 million, hopefully get a couple bucks back, and you're basically paying 20 million to retain the rights. Okay. Let's do that. And are we going to promote it? Nah. You going to promote it at all? Nah. We'll do it. We'll slap some of the original music on the beginning of it. Get that idiot that runs the Kristian Harloff channel excited when he hears it. And that'll be it. Yeah, that's the movie. Okay.
You getting a big name cast?
Yeah.
Brian Cox.
Brian Cox he'll be in it, and then we'll have what's her face come back to do the voiceover, even though it's hundreds of years before. But yeah, people won't care. Everyone, but well, yeah, let's make something. And they made something to keep it. Now that could be the definition not of a money grab, but a rights grab.
That's a rights grab.
That's a rights grab. I stand by that. I liked the movie.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It had a more of a Game of Thrones type violence to it than any of the Lord of the Rings movies. I'm very surprised that more people didn't like it. But this makes all the sense in the world to me.
I know.
Right.
And plus, they did a Japanese anime style, which is very niche anime style.
Right.
Like, it's nothing against people of anime. I'm not saying anything negative. Anime is
cheaper.
But yeah, it's cheap. Right, exactly. But it's not made for mainstream consumption. And I think that's another element of this that kind of, plus people don't know the characters. So how many of them were really, I was surprised they made this theatrical release. But as I was reading and you were pointing out here, clearly it was a rights situation, because this should have been a streaming movie. There's no logical reason this should have been out in the theaters, except that they wanted to keep the rights. So that makes sense, I guess. And they take the hit.
But they don't even really take a hit. They don't even really take a hit. Like,
financially, depending on.
No, they don't even take a hit. They can cover the $25 million. That's why they spent $25 million on it. They basically say, look, we can either lose the rights here, or we can put this out there. And because look, the movie itself, they put basically no marketing into it. It explains why, because normally marketing can cost you anywhere double the budget. So let's say it would have cost like 50 to 75. There's been no commercials or anything. Let's say the marketing behind this. Let's say it was $15 million or 20. Yeah. Let's say 20. Let's say $20 million for the marketing. So it's $45 million. It's already made about like 10, right? So let's say the movie itself. Let's say that it's a loss of 20 million. Let's say it's a loss of 20 million. That's what you paid to get the rights back,
right?
And you
that's a good point.
You know what I mean? You paid 20 million to sustain, to keep the rights and not lose it, and be able to make it. So you're essentially tacking on another 20 million to the budget of the next Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah,
basically is what you're doing. Makes all the sense in the world. And there's been far worse movies that have been made to keep things alive. I'll tell you that.
So let's tell the truth there. I mean, after the Hobbit trilogy wasn't that well received, the Rings of Power, although the second scene was better, it was lower ratings. And then this movie, I mean, I think the franchise is in a little bit of trouble. And if the Circus movie comes out, who directed, by the way, Venom 2, it wasn't that great. If that if that Lord of the Rings movie comes out and doesn't do well, Kristian, or bombs even,
it might be over. No, it might be over. I know. Well, sell the rights, but it's like, even if you sell the right, I mean, you sell not sell the rights, but you let them expire. And even if you let them, if you let them expire, it's like, who? If Peter Jackson can't make Lord of the Rings work again, no, I don't know who's going to be able to do it, because Amazon ain't doing it.
Christopher Nolan.
And does he even give it? But what's he going to do? Is he going to redo the movies? It's like trying to do, and even the fact that they're doing, that this movie takes place, the new one, the Gollum movie takes place like right after Fellowship or during Fellowship or something along those lines, and that Aragorn's supposed to be in it, but Aragorn they're not gonna de-age Viggo, but they want Viggo.
Yeah,
it's already a strange start. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you guys think though, man, about all this stuff? About the rights issue? Do you think it's a smart move? Does it make sense? Go ahead and put your comments in there. Tell me exactly what you think. All right, we're going to get to your questions in just a moment here. And before we do, go ahead. You got something?
Where are we at?
Right now? We're at 38. You're looking good.
38?
That's 30. You don't understand. 38 is very good. Going into the questions, okay. Steph hit 80 last week, and she was at 19 when she hit the question section. You're at 38. That's great. Some people, Coy and Winston, I think they were at like 25 or something, or 30, something along those lines.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, so you're in a good spot. All right, now stop this, because I want to tell you, this episode is brought to you guys by BetterHelp. I have mentioned to you guys many times over about BetterHelp. I think every time Roxy is on, we talk about BetterHelp, and I ask you guys during the winter months, how do you stay cozy? Being in New York, a lot of different ways. You could be wrapping up in a blanket. It could be starting a nice fire. Hot chocolate. There's a lot of different ways. Well, therapy is a great way to bring yourself some comfort that never goes away, even when the season changes. Now, as I mentioned, I've seen people in my family. I have seen my good friend Roxy Stryer benefit tremendously from therapy. And watching that happen, it is such a wonderful, wonderful thing. Rox, again, every time Roxy's on, she talks about how she was able to just adjust to her schedule and she's able to talk to BetterHelp, and it's great because it's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, it's flexible, and it's suited to your schedule. You just fill out a brief questionnaire, you get matched with a licensed therapist, and then you switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. So you got to find comfort this December with BetterHelp. You go to betterhelp.com/bigthing today and get 10% off your first month. BetterHelp, HELP.com/bigthing. All right, John.
Yeah.
Moment of truth. But before we do it,
yeah, go ahead.
what are you doing this week? What's going on the Rocha channel?
It's the Outlaw Nation show. Come on over, ladies and gentlemen. The Outlaw Nation channel happening. We got so much going on here this week, of course. Week before Christmas. So everyone's getting their stuff on here. We got some Dune Prophecy reviews. We got Skeleton Crew reviews coming up. We got the Hot Mic happening this week as well. Jedi Way, Geek Buddies. So much going on here. And I will have a special announcement here. Robert Butler III, better known as RB3, will be a guest of mine on Spill the Tequila with Winston, a Marshall. So look for that getting announced real soon, sometime this week. So head on over to youtube.com/John Rocha Says, or just type in the Outlaw Nation and hit Rocha, ROCHA, and come and subscribe to the channel.
RB3's coming on here on Wednesday.
Nice.
So
so maybe a double bill.
Yeah, so there we go. So there you go. All right, everybody, let's get to it. Over 1,000 people watching right now. You throw in those questions.
Give me 1,000 questions. Let's go. Send in $1. $1 a question.
You would never. No one would ever beat you.
Right.
Jedi Master for life. Crazy how a teasing a trailer can bring all the feels, the nostalgia, the hopefulness, just that piece of the score. Please take my money. It was brilliant. It really was. That's not easy to do. Talk about marketing. That is not easy to do, what he was able to do today, John, with that announcement of the trailer.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing and a really smart approach in terms of how they did this and get people excited. And the fact they did it early in the week, I thought the trailer would be like tomorrow. But the fact that they're going to make you wait till Thursday, there's a reason for that. So, I mean, they realize, people are starting to take some days off. Christmas is around the corner, so let's hit them on Thursday. And then people were talking about it all day Thursday and Friday. So it's a smart move.
Yep,
smart move.
Agreed. Carlton Rudder, what's up, man? London Calling. The soundtrack for the new indie game is fantastic. Also, listening to Sonny Boy by Al Pacino. Yes, enjoyable book thus far. Avoided Kraven. Well, you're doing everything right there. I did start playing the Indiana Jones game, and the score is great.
You got an Xbox? Nice.
Yeah, I have an Xbox, and it's, dude, I love it. I love it so much. It's the best indie story since Last Crusade, hands down. Hands down. I mean, that's not that hard, but still, it's great.
Thinking about it's a $500 investment.
Oh, because you'd have to get the actual Xbox too, right?
Let's go ahead. But I'm wondering.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Ewok, 100% Gunn is using Williams' score for the film.
Yeah.
How do you say 100% though? Do you know?
Yeah, that's what he thinks.
I mean, you can't say 100% unless you know 100%.
Say 100% all the time, thinking they know.
Oh, you can't do that. I don't know if he's going to use the full score, but I think he's going to do what he did today. I think he's going to do like the homage, which is great, which is what I was hoping. I was already a Gunn fan. I am way more of a fan today after that piece of music. Who composed that music? Does anybody know? Does anybody know who composed that? I want to know who composed that. Who's composing this? Yeah, let me know if it's the same, if it's the people who's actually composing it. Like, somebody get on that. Ewok. Thoughts on the trailer for A24's Warfare from Alex Garland, starring Joseph Quinn, Charles Melton, and Cosmo Jarvis. It looks like Black Hawk Down. I don't know. Did you see this yet, John?
No. What is it? What was it?
A24's Warfare. Sounds like something right up your alley.
Oh man,
it's Alex Garland.
Yeah. Okay.
Didn't even know about it. Thanks for letting me know. No, I haven't seen it.
John Murphy did the score for this. It says here on Wikipedia, John Murphy scored to James Gunn's 2025 film.
Is John Murphy, is that his guy?
I don't know. It's a good question. Let's take a look.
Yeah, take a look. Armada. Oh, this is for you because this is one of those questions that's been asked. Armada has been doing this. Bill Burr as Scott Mance or Scott Mance as Bill in a movie? I think it's always an easy answer.
Bill Burr should be Scott Mance.
Yeah, always. It's always going to be. It's going to be very rare that the actor doesn't play the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's this guy. He did the Suicide Squad, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and the special.
Makes
and
sense.
Kick.
Makes sense. Jedi Master for life. Thoughts on Dune Prophecy so far? After episode 4, I started thinking I could watch this for 10 seasons. I really felt the world starting to expand in this one. I'm so happy to hear that, because I've been hearing that from a lot of different people, and from a lot of people who were just like meh on the first 2. I really liked the first 2 a lot. So that makes me even more hopeful, because I haven't seen 3 and 4 yet. So I'm pumped. You, John, you're all caught up, right?
Love it.
You love it.
I'm loving it right now. The first episode was a little wonky. They had to establish the universe a little bit, but it's taken off since the first episode, and I've liked it. In the most recent episode as well, which I'll hopefully be reviewing sometime today with Shannon. We'll see.
Okay. The great Bobby Jackson.
Hey.
I know you guys hate Gunn being on Twitter, but I like that he's preventing useless discourse and speculation from people who just want to start rumors for content and falsely build expectations on something that won't happen. And when it doesn't happen, they just say it got edited out or was in an earlier script. I think there's some merit to what Bobby's saying. I think that it is great that you do have someone going, all right, that's definitely not true. Cut that out. I also think there is some merit to John. I mean, John usually saying it, and I'm usually agreeing with him, that I think that Gunn does a little bit too much on there. Like, you don't have to respond to everybody. There are times that you can just go, just let that go. There are times, like Bobby, like what you're saying, where it's like, wait a minute, that's too much. That's bullshit. And here's why it's bullshit. So I think it's kind of like a mix.
But how much is he actually preventing? That's the thing you have to kind of look at is how do you quantify that? Because from what I've seen, it hasn't stopped anything. People are still speculating. People are still pushing out their theories and ideas and what have you. But maybe some of the Batman stuff has been curtailed because of what Gunn has said. Maybe some of these other stories have been curtailed because Gunn has shot them down. But look, as Jeff and I pointed out on the hot mic over the last couple of weeks, Gunn has also backtracked. Gunn has also maybe not told the full truth about certain situations, and it's getting exposed a little bit. And the more he talks, the more he gets exposed. And that's the situation, because as human beings, we're going to backtrack sometimes, or we're going to change our minds, especially as we're building out a massive universe and people are waiting to gotcha if you backtrack or change your mind or make another decision that you said you weren't going to do. And so I think that's what sets him up for those things. So there's good, but there's also a lot of bad. So it's a balance here, man.
Big Bang OT4. Would you prefer a trilogy with Rey rebuilding the Jedi Order, or with Grogu leading the Jedi and the Mandalorians? All right. This is the answer to that question for me.
Okay.
What era are we talking about? Are we talking about a Grogu that's more like Yoda, to where he's actually an adult now and he's talking and he's wise and he's survived and he's leading the Mandalorians and the Jedi years after Rey and all that type of stuff, like 100, 200, 300 years into the future? That could be interesting. Grogu tomorrow doing it as a baby still, or just basically getting his words together? No thanks. I'll take Rey on that one.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I like the Rey idea more, because I know you're going to have to do like a full teenage Grogu. And I just have a feeling people are going to be weirded out, because it'll probably have to be CG, not like practical effects. And I don't know if are you going to cast the right actor to voice Grogu? I mean, I just think there's a lot of possibility for failure on that side of the fence. I think with the Ridley thing and the Rey thing, you've got a little more of a solid base and foundation to jump from. So I like that idea.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I like Daisy Ridley. I think the same thing with John Boyega. That I think of Daisy Ridley. I just think she was not. She had a better run than Boyega did, but I think that I still think she was underused. I think she was set up great in Force Awakens and then just kind of wasted in the rest of them. They did the best they could with. She did the best she could with it, but I like her. I think she's got a lot of charisma. I think with the right director and the right script, I think she could win back a lot of different people, even the people who don't necessarily like her. Which I think I'm with you. I don't think it's fair to take out any frustrations on her. I don't think she was in the same way that you don't take the frustrations out on Aaron Taylor Johnson for being in Kraven, Right. So here's your buddy, Evil John Madden.
Hey,
Kristian, I went to New York City for a day trip on Sunday. I was bummed. I looked everywhere for you, but I didn't see you. Oh yeah, I wasn't just hanging out there. 8 at Gelso and Grand in Little Italy. Ooh, Little Italy's good. Amazing. I walked through Chinatown. I was in heaven. I saw all the hot Asian women everywhere.
Oh boy.
Hey, he likes Asian women. That's okay.
All right.
Yeah. And then he said there was a Planet Hollywood sign in Times Square by Bryant Park. Said it was coming back, and I laughed. I bought a Fugazi Rolex from a vendor. I talked to him down from 50 to from 200. It made my trip. Hello, Rocha. So I'm convinced that this is Kalinowski. Joe Hendo TV. I love that Superman poster. I'm hoping that the trailer delivers. The theme music reminds me of John Williams and Hans Zimmer. Yeah, Rocha said the same thing. Yep. I see it in the beginning. But I think I feel more that it's like the Gladiator Hans Zimmer version of the John Williams theme is more so. I felt like there was a Hans Zimmer-ness to the music itself. I just didn't hear the Hans Zimmer theme of Superman as much. But I definitely felt a Hans Zimmer vibe to it, no doubt. Jason Ashcroft. My girlfriend broke her spine almost 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry, man. Besides that, we were in a rough patch in our relationship. She has become emotionally distant since the accident, and I'm not sure what to do. Any advice? Oh, man, that's a tough one. That's so hard to say, Jason, because I don't know you guys. You know what I mean? It's like it's so hard for me to say, like, what. The only thing I can say is just I don't know how long you were in the relationship together, but try to have as many conversations as you can. Don't let anger lead the way. Have the conversations and put everything on the table. That's the best advice I can say without knowing you. You know,
you're gonna have to be the bigger person. You're gonna have to, because she is suffering a life-altering injury.
Yeah,
and so she is going to be angry, upset. She's going to lash out at you. You've got to be the bigger person and the stronger person. And if you can't do that, you need to be honest with yourself. And that's going to be the conversation you probably need to have. So if you can handle it and you can take care of her through this situation, you got to be open to all her reactions, be as calm as you can in navigating, be okay with space, don't be selfish. That's the way to navigate this. And look, in the end, she may still break up with you, but you've got to be the better person here if you can, because it's not an easy situation for her to deal with. And she might love you even more by the end if you're patient with her.
And he follows that with, I want to support her the best, but I also don't want to be too much. I mean, I get it. I understand. Yeah. You just got to, I think John gave the best advice there too.
Be patient.
Yep. Miguel's hand. Damn, that score is almost a mixture of John Williams and the Gladiator score. Hey, that's what I just said. So majestic. I feel like this won't feel like your typical Gunn film. I hope that's true. And I say that in the best way possible. And I bet you he wants that too.
Yeah.
Big Bang OT4. Kristian and Rocha are the best duo. Let's go Superman. Hell yeah. Mike Joyce. Anyone see The Order? Fantastic movie. I think it'd be right up your alley, John. Full of great characters and performances. Definitely top 10 of the year for me. Which one's The Order?
The other one is the one with Jude Law. It's about the him infiltrating a white supremacist organization.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think Nicholas Holt is in it as well.
Oh, so did you see it?
I've heard great things. No, it's on the app. So I'll be watching. Look, I'm catching up on a lot of shit this week.
Me too. You know what's so stupid is that I know that there's so many movies that I have that I'm like, okay, time for me to watch this. I'm going to spend my goal last week was about 8 days ago when I said this. I said I'm going to watch one movie a day for 8 days. I haven't watched one. I've been playing either the Indiana Jones thing. I've been reading this book that I've been reading. I finished Arcane season 2 with my daughter.
Nice.
And I didn't get to it. There's so many things I want to finish. So many things. Yeah. Dennis Hoffman. Did Rocha watch Kraven again because his Out of the Theater did so well? Gotta get that money.
No, because I didn't do a non-spoiler review for it because it did so well.
What did it wind up doing?
Huh? Well, I think we're going to do a spoiler review at some point in the week with the three of us.
No. What did you Out of the Theater wind up doing?
I don't know, 50 something.
Nice.
It was nice. Yeah, it was a total surprise. I didn't anticipate that.
Yep.
So
no, see, that's what happens when I don't do one.
You never know, man. You really never know. What'd you say? I
said that's what happens when I don't do one. Go Pal. Not today. Number 99. R.E. the sandwich. What did I do? I had I went right across the street and had a good sandwich.
52. It did 52. That's I think great. The reason is because I've got that face too. I decided to do a new one where I'm sitting in the theater looking at the movie. Is like a horrific. So I messed with the thumbnail. I think that helped. So
Julius Wyatt, since you're both in the Critics' Choice Awards, how does the voting work? Well, they send out the first thing, and they basically say, okay, here are the movies. You nominate the movies you want to nominate, and you send out the form to get the nominations. And then when that's over, then once it comes out, they send out the ballot and you vote on it. It's as simple as that.
Yep. What Kristian said.
Yep. Which
Are you flying in for the ceremony?
I don't think so this year. I have to say that I'm not gonna be able to do it. But I was really considering it, but I'm probably gonna go next year because that's probably when Julia Roberts' movie will be nominated. All right. You don't think so? No. JJ Skywalker, please help me settle a bet. Although your girl Florence Pugh might be there, so there you go. This year.
Hey,
there you go. Please help me settle a bet. Who's the most famous athlete of all time? I mean, I got to put Jordan up there, right? No, Mike Tyson?
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson,
That's
Jordan.
global.
So is Tyson. Tyson was global too. I don't know.
I think it's
the only reason I would put Tyson is because the media reach for Tyson got bigger, because when Ali was still. I mean, I don't know.
I think it all depends on timing, right? Like right now, you could argue Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo.
Right. But that's overall worldwide.
Yeah,
worldwide. I don't know how they're
domestically. It's a whole nother.
People know who they are here, but they're not as famous as like. I don't know, man. Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Jordan. Yeah.
I think it's a debate. I don't think there is a clear-cut winner. I just don't.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a clear-cut winner. Fire XXX. Johnny, you're 50 right now. Good start.
Nice.
50.
Let's go.
45 minutes to go. To Kristian, would you consider a special episode with the longtime friends Rocha, Mike Kalinowski, Mike Vogel, and Sam? I think it would be crazy. Sam, my friend Sam? Longtime friends, I guess, is what he's.
Yeah,
so
we're not.
Be Sam.
Sam and I are a long time.
No. I think he's asking me my longtime friends. So like Mike, Vogel. So I mean, look, the only thing with that is it's just a matter of well, I guess Sam could be here, and then I could get the guys here. But it's all about scheduling too. It's
Sam in New York? I didn't know
Sam?
That.
Yeah.
Or Sam Rachel in New York?
You're thinking of Sam Levine. My friend Sam that does my friend Samantha who does the
I apologize.
Yeah. Samantha does the reactions and stuff with her.
Sorry, Sam.
Yeah, we just put out. You would love Samantha. Oh my God, Yeah, you talk no bullshit. She's spicy Latina indeed.
Done and done.
She is the best, and she's on every Friday right now because we're doing our MCU rewatch.
I know.
Mike Joyce. Someone said last week, so I'll bring it up again. I hope you do end up doing that political show, John. We need Impolite Truths 2.0, the Bruja and the Outlaw. Well, she wouldn't be doing it with you.
No, Doreen is not doing this stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And then all of you can deal with the fallout and the ramifications of it all. I'll happily do it.
I mean, I told you that though. I said that if you're going to start a political channel, you've got to, like you were just talking about before.
Yeah.
You've got to know what comes with that, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
If you don't,
exactly.
So if you don't mentally want to do that, then no one should be asking you to do that. Like that's right. I just think that if it comes down to like if you can do it and you want to do it and you're not doing it, that's the error. If right now you're like I don't want to deal with that mentally, then I don't blame you at all. It's
starting to change, but I don't know what this guy's going to do, so I'm going to see what happens first.
But it should. I mean, my personal opinion is this too, and you take it for everyone. I think it should be less about you versus one person. I think it should be just your political thoughts in general.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Yeah. That is the approach I would take.
Yeah.
Yes.
Joe Hendo TV.
Oh.
You guys should really watch the Superman Lois show now that it's over. I hear good things.
My friend is a producer on the show, and he has ridden me for 2 years to watch that show.
Yeah.
And he's mad that I didn't watch the finale. And I don't watch the finale of a show I haven't watched everything leading up to. But I think our friendship's on the line. And so I may have to watch this finale in the next couple of days because I couldn't make their Christmas party over the weekend because I had deliveries coming to the house. My refrigerator and washing machine both conked out last week.
Oh, no.
Within a day of each other. So we had to get everything squared away. So I couldn't make the Christmas party in LA. So I think I have to watch this thing and then report back to him. So yes, he's right. A lot of people. Adam Hlaback over at Heroes of Ford, Huge fan of Superman.
Yeah, people absolutely love that show.
They love the show. Yeah.
So much. Hold on a second.
You getting a text?
Real quick one, but it's over now. All right, let's see. So let's go to the next question here. And Beth Snyder coming in hot.
Oh, Beth.
Harloff got COVID to stay away from Kraven as long as possible. It's true. Jillian Michaels cast in the Star Wars show helping Jabba the Hutt lose weight. Oh, there you go. Perfect. That's going to work.
Oh, Jillian.
I'll tell you, one of the best conversations I had with somebody in an interview.
She's a cool girl.
She really, she just really was like so like down to earth and like talk about something. Like, we talked about it. It's like we don't have to agree with each other or everything. It's just like it's just a conversation that you can have. Like, well, why don't you agree with that? Oh, that's interesting. I didn't see that point. And let me see your point. Oh, okay. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I understand how you got to that conclusion. Like that's the kind of stuff that's missing all the time. It's one of my favorite conversations. I had some idiot say, "Why would you have her on the show?" It's like, why don't you listen to the conversation? I hate this whole thing of like, well, you can't have someone on the show because they don't believe in the things that I do. And they're not on the same team as I'm on. It's like, listen to their point of view. You don't have to agree with them, but listen to their point of view. Like I didn't agree with everything that she had to say, but I talked to her and we had a great conversation.
Yeah, I agree with you, brother. That's the way to go. That's what I'm into. And that's why I love Jeff and I battle, Michael and I battle, you and I occasionally disagree. I love this stuff because it's good to hear all the different points of views. Yeah. But I do want to pitch you a show on the Kristian Harloff stage, the first video show where Jillian Michaels trains me for 6 months for a marathon. There we go.
Oh, yeah. I'll call her up.
All
right. Richard Okatora, you're at 53 right now. 53.
Get up, you fat ass.
Yeah, right. 40 minutes to go.
Hey, come on, people.
Richard Okatora. Hey, John and Kristian, sending one in for John. Do you think the Superman poster release means that we get a trailer this week? Oh, they said as much. It's Thursday. Yeah, it drops on Thursday. So
you think it'll be 6 a.m. drop? 6 a.m. drop? What do you think? Or 9 a.m. ET? What do you think? What do you think?
Man, you can never tell. You just never know. I mean, I think you want to own the day of news, probably 9 a.m. Eastern.
Right.
If you want to own the day, yeah. Mad Sinister McCall. Fun fact: I hate the Tusken Raiders. One time in Star Wars Battlefront, I killed over 120 of them in one game with an AT-AT droid tank. Talk about a hate crime.
It messed with your mother too, like they messed me. Oh, Jesus.
Poor guy. Evil John Madden. I'm not so evil today. I just wanted to say hello, and I hope that Rocha whips the fake geek buddy's ass, Coy and Winston, with questions. That's nice.
Well, keep sending them in.
53. Joey Pedras. Do you think that the DCU should explore TV as heavily as the MCU, or do you think they should stay primarily on the big screen? I think that they should do what they're doing right now. Tell the stories that they want to tell. Pepper in the stuff that you wanted. They've got Lanterns for the DCU. They've got Creature Commandos. They have the Elseworlds, the Penguin stuff. It looks like the Clayface is actually going to be DCU. That was announced. Yeah, it's not going to be Elseworlds, which I thought it would fit in more, but it's going to be DCU. But that's a movie, obviously. So I don't know. So who said Gladiator 2 is a bomb? That is not a fact at all. Someone said Gladiator 2 is a bomb. That is incorrect. Let's see. So that movie right now, let's see how much that made. How much?
Probably 100 at least.
How much did it make so far? Let's. I don't know why it's going to Box Office Mojo. Okay, Gladiator 2. I don't think people understand what bomb is all the time too, though, when they say that.
Yeah, underperform is not a bomb.
No. Gladiator 2. That movie so far has made almost $400 million.
Poof.
Okay, so it cost what, like $200 to make?
Is that worldwide?
That's worldwide. So it made $400. So it didn't make a tremendous. It's gonna. You also got to remember that it's gonna make money on streaming platforms and everything else too. So it'll probably wind up capping out at between 450 to 500 million, right? Overall, with everything that it's gonna do. So it'll make money. It's just a matter of it's not a blockbuster hit, but a bomb is when you lose about $100 million, not when you break even or do over. Disappointing. If you want to say they're probably disappointed with it, I don't even agree with that. But that is more merit than a bomb. That movie's not. That's not a bomb.
I would say disappointing because I think they thought it was going to be in contention for all kinds of awards, and I don't think it will be.
Sure. So, no. Yeah. Well, I mean, I was surprised. I will tell you, I was surprised. Critics' Choice Awards that Denzel was nominated.
I know. I was surprised. By
yeah. Joe This is one of my favorite usernames, by the way.
Yeah.
Joe for show. Are you more excited about Superman now? That score. I was really excited about Superman, but yes, I am more excited now. That score.
Yeah.
It was the one thing I took as a loss with Superman. I said, the one thing that would make this really great is if they had some kind of version of John Williams, but they're not going to do that. And I was happy to be wrong.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I was so wrong with that. I thought he was going to bow to the pressure of the people going, don't do it, John Williams. Get away from John Williams. I'm so glad that he didn't.
What do you think you want?
Yeah, Ewok. I'm loving the new photos of Kyle Chandler sporting his Hal Jordan look. I didn't see that yet. Did you see that?
Oh,
it's like he left right off the comic book page. I didn't see that yet. Someone
Okay.
send me
No, they released anything.
If you find that, text it to me, all right?
Okay.
That's great. 55 questions as we approach 2:30. Evil John Madden. Here we go. Rocha, you need to get a fourth on the Geek Buddies as a special guest once in a while, like Kalinowski or Kristian. Maybe Coy, not Winston, though. Why not? Oh, because he's on your show. I know you say you try, but it's hard. Do better.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is hard. When the pandemic was happening, it was easy to have Emma Fyfe and Laura Kelly and other people because they were all home. So it's much easier. Now everybody's busy doing things. It's not as easy. And when Mike comes on the show, we get just as many positive as negative responses. So it's always a balancing act. And Michael's very busy as well, Kalinowski. Yeah. So we'll see.
Okay.
Kristian's come on a couple of times. It's not always easy to get Kristian either. He's busy doing a million things. Can't even watch 8 movies in 8 days.
That's true. I have an idea for a trade of appearances. We'll talk about it off the air. We'll talk about it off the air. You know what I found? And I don't know. Who knows? I can never. I hope the guy's not problematic, as they say. I don't find him to be. But do you know this guy is Joey Swole? Have you heard of this guy?
Joey Swole,
an Instagram guy.
Why? He's come after you?
No. I fucking love what this guy's doing on Instagram. He's like he's a gym guy. He's a big, huge dude. But
nice.
But he basically watches videos of people being dickheads in the gym, and like.
Yes, no, I have seen this TikTok video.
Love this guy. I love this guy. He's like
calls him out.
He calls him out, and he's just like there was this one kid who was like this nice guy comes up and says, "Hey, can I get into the set?" And he's like, "No. I'm working on it." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And then he makes fun of the guy for asking him. He's like, "Oh, how about you believe that guy?" And then Joey's like, "Can you believe that guy, or can I believe you in the fact that this?" And he goes after him. He goes, "Do better. Do this." Yeah. He's like, "Mind your own business." And I was like, "I fucking love." I watched like 50 of his videos. I was like scrolling through, going, "Yeah, this guy's the best." You're talking about tell it how it is. Love.
I know.
Love that.
And he's equal opportunity, like women and men. He goes after
both.
Ridiculous.
Because there was some woman like wiping her vagina on the freaking on the bars, and he goes, "Can you imagine if a guy did this? You're doing it to sell your subscriptions on your OnlyFans? You should be arrested. You should be in jail."
Mrs. Big Shot wiping a vagina on the bus.
His Instagram is no joke. D'Angelo Clay. Hey, are you the one, Eleanor? Is this the guy? No. So good.
Big Shot over here with the Clippers.
Big Shot. He called the one guy Potato Head or something. I can't remember what it was. Something like that. Julius Wyatt, shout out to Josh Allen for carrying my bad fantasy team.
Hey.
There you go.
48 points yesterday. I have Josh Allen as well. I still didn't win my matchup because of Chris Evans and some other receiver going crazy yesterday. Yep. Oh, Devontae Adams. So I got smoked. But damn, I know 48 points. He's the MVP now. Let's shut it down. Don't give me Saquon. Don't give me Lamar Jackson. Cut it out. Josh Allen is the MVP, period.
There you go. You heard it here first. Sean Zimmy. I just moved from Minnesota to Washington, D.C. for a new job. When is the time that you bet on yourself with a career move? Me moving back to New York.
Hey, yeah.
You two ever ventured to Minnesota? I did. I got kicked out of a comedy club. The only comedy club I've ever been kicked out of was in Minnesota.
You get out of here.
There's the guy walked me off stage and said, "You never come back here again."
You're not funny there. Get out of here.
Oh no. This guy was a very
aggressive.
No, he was an Asian guy, and he ran the club, and it was something out of a movie. Like I had like 200 people screaming and hollering for me. Yeah, and this guy's walking out and just like, "You never come back here ever again," screaming at me. And I was like, I was on the road with this guy Tommy Savitt, and the joke that I did was this bit where I would do this German speak at the end, and he goes, and so Tommy goes, we're sitting there, it's so quiet because I was with Tommy and it was so quiet I got kicked out. There was not a word said the whole time. And Tommy looks up, he goes, "You just had to scream you're German." It was the best. It was the best. So yeah, but as far as betting on myself, yeah, taking the risk and trying to set everything up over here, and it paid off.
Yeah, I mean, same thing here. When they let me go in 2020, taking a chance to start a channel, and I haven't had to work a regular job in 4 years because I do this and the podcasts, and so yeah, very much taking a chance. It's scary as hell. You never know how long you're gonna keep going, but for right now, loving it.
John, to hit your goal of 100, you need 39.
Yeah. 39 more?
Yeah.
Come on, people.
Roman Fedorak. Hey, all. Man, that Soups Tease was the perfect graduation post I needed. I need that song on my playlist pronto. I think that they're going to release the score sooner than later.
At least the theme they should release, if not the whole score.
I think so.
Yeah.
Just don't name the tracks. I hate when they do that, even when the movie hasn't come out. You remember when they did that with Phantom Menace? Qui-Gon's End?
Zod.
Qui-Gon's End. That was the worst.
Right.
That was the worst. I guess he dies. Day Napper. Not sure if I heard someone say this, but I'll say it anyway. Gunn doesn't need to make us believe a man can fly. He just needs to make us believe people can hope. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. That's true. Yeah, we know that he can fly, right? We've seen it before.
Right.
People can hope is a great, that's well said, my friend. Well said. DUI Champ, Brother Rocha, do you think Gunn's cartoon in the opening of Creature Commandos is not due to his ego, but to the show the DCU is his new universe? There won't be Marthas or CGI, Christopher Reeves, or other dumb shit.
It's a good question. But I do think that's part of your ego. Like, people think ego is a negative thing. It's not always a negative thing. And I guarantee, and I know I presented it a little bit like it was part of a negative instinct that Gunn has. But look, the reason he's achieved the things he's achieved is because he has a healthy belief in himself. And that is an ego. And it's about how you use your ego, right? And clearly no one has negative things to say about working with James Gunn. So he's used his ego in the right way. But it doesn't mean that he doesn't have it, right? And so the opening, I just don't, some of the PR stuff I don't always believe. I'm always skeptical because I worked in that town for so long. So I don't know how much the animators were like, well, let's surprise James Gunn and put this in there and it's totally him animated. All that stuff has to go through so many rounds of approval. You think no one told James that this was the process? So I just think a little bit like that. But I hear your point. It could be him just making it clear. If you want to blame anybody for this universe, it's me. It's my universe, me and Peter Safran. So I am the point person on it. So I see your point.
All right, next one. And this one, comes in from our right now. I'm just making sure they have the right one. This one is Matt W., who says, "I love the poster and the Alex Ross vibe. The score makes me feel that it will be a different kind of movie than just a James Gunn movie." Yeah, I think that's kind of what he's trying to show people, right?
Yes. I didn't even think about the Alex Ross thing. Actually, that's a really good connection. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really curious if that's going to happen. Let's see. Oh, you sent the Green Lantern one.
I did.
Okay, that looks looks good picture. It's a good picture. I'll do a screenshot and show people right now. Hold on a second. So if people didn't see the picture yet of Kyle Chandler,
it's good.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good, and I think he's gonna have a blast. Here's the picture. I'll just put it right if I can find the damn thing.
Right here.
Here it is. That's great. Yeah, that's great. Look at that. Yeah, I think he's gonna be great. I like Kyle Chandler a lot. Okay, so now next question after that. That one, of course, came in. That was the Matt W. question, and so the next question, as we make our way down, thank you guys for everybody who's been commenting and putting in every one of your questions, likes, comments, sharing, all that. Jake S., do you think the next Shrek will keep new Puss in Boots animation style or go back? I just rewatched the ending fight and it's fantastic. They'll probably stay with the animation that they're at now.
Yeah.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be updated, obviously, because the technology has updated, but the style is what it is, because they want Puss in Boots to have its style and Shrek to have its style as differentiating brands. So it makes all the sense in the world that they would keep the Shrek style, just update it a little bit. That's all.
Okay. Andreas IB. Just sending love and support to you both. I'm a fan since your Collider days and always enjoyed your takes and banter. Thank you so much, Andreas. Appreciate that very much. Yeah, it's been John. Look, John's been on the live. We've been doing the live show itself every day for a few months, but John and I have been doing the live version on this Monday for at least 6-7 months now. So
yeah,
it's been good. Gopal, do you remember the 1994 Fantastic Four movie? It was a Roger Corman, right? They made to keep the rights and never released. Isn't that the Roger Corman one, or was that?
Yeah. Corman one that was.
But
never
they did
made.
release it. Didn't they release it?
I thought it wasn't released.
Oh, I thought they were. Swayze, what do you think about the new Harry Potter series? I think that this has the chance to be really great. I know some of the writers, and they're telling me this will be Game of Thrones in terms of dialogue. Good. I mean, they got to make it a little bit more deep. You know, if they're going to do it based off the series itself, you got to make it as true to the books as possible.
Right.
The movies were made and in the way that they were because they had to fit as much as they could in one book into 2.5 hours each time, right?
Yeah.
Now you're fitting it into 8 hours each time if it's 8 episodes.
Yeah, yeah. So this 1994 Fantastic, it was directed by Ole Sasso, and it's not Roger Corman. But I will say this, the guy who was playing Reed Richards, Alex Hyde White, I worked with him for a year at Universal Studios. He was one of the wand keepers with me at the Harry Potter, Wizarding World of Harry Potter. So I had no idea he was going to play. He played Reed Richards in this movie. Wow. Interesting. All right.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay, next one. Let's see.
It is produced by Roger Corman, just not directed.
Oh, okay. The great Matt Thomas. The theme was perfect. Poster vibe perfect. And Thursday can't get here soon enough. I'm hoping to see a slot of Cleveland as Metropolis. Hashtag views from Metropolis. Yeah, look, man, I think people are getting hyped up for this for a reason. And I agree with you. I think the theme was absolutely everything about that announcement was great. It was great. It was 10 out of 10 for an announcement as far as marketing goes.
Yeah, agreed.
Michael McKenzie, do you guys see the Pit trailer? Looks like 24 meets ER. No.
Yeah, I watched it last night.
Okay.
Shannon McClung is in 2 of the episodes. So he's one of the helicopter pilots. And so I watched the trailer last night. It feels like Noah Wyle, like moving on from ER.
Okay.
This is like him years later. But it looks pretty good for a medical drama. So I'm in.
Moises Gutierrez. What do you think about the fact that in the movie, Emilia Perez, there are no Mexican actors and Selena Gomez's Spanish is very bad? I haven't seen the movie. Have you seen it? Is it terrible?
Yeah. It's a good movie. No, it's a very good movie. Yeah. But yeah, man, I mean, her Spanish, and look, I like Selena. I thought she was, I love her in Only Murders. But that Spanish was rough. And anybody who speaks fluent Spanish knows that Spanish is rough. That being said, I think she's not supposed to be like a native born speaker. She's not supposed to be that in the film. So I think that's why people gave it a pass. But Eugenio Derbez, who was a very famous Spanish actor or Latino actor, came out and kind of called her out on a podcast. And that's why it's taken on this extra life. But Selena responded very graciously and said, I'm sorry you didn't appreciate the performance. I did my best. And, you know, unfortunately, it's not something that that worked for you. And so, you know, I think we should just let it go.
Yeah. All right. This is Day Napper, who says, what's a better Hulk Hogan movie? Suburban Commando, Mr. Nanny, or Thunder in Paradise? I would say Suburban Commando.
I guess so. I mean, come on.
They're all terrible, but you know, the Undertaker's in that one too.
You're like, which porta potty smells the best?
The best. But I like the Suburban Commando, but also because of the dog. You ever see that?
Oh yeah, the dog. That's right.
So people who don't know, there's a scene in Suburban. I think no, it's not Suburban Commando. It's Mr. Nanny. Mr. Nanny's riding on a bicycle on the motorcycle, and randomly, I guess he's in Tampa or whatever it is, but randomly, there's just a guy throwing a random dog into the water. The dog's fine; it just comes back out, but it's such a strange thing. DUI champ.
Hey,
J.J. Abrams cut a new deal with Warner Brothers. What's the attraction to this guy? He makes more smelly shit than a 1-year-old. Look, I think J.J. Abrams is a very good creative mind. I think that the problem with J.J. is that I feel like he gets bored after the first thing. I feel like he's like, you know, whether it's Lost or whether it's Star Trek, whether it's Star Wars, he goes, okay, I helped you start it. Bye. You know, that's kind of what he does, right? And then when they're like, oh, fine, I'll come back, and he's dead. But yeah, Palpatine's back. How? I don't know. Somehow he returned.
Yeah.
And-
I mean, look at this. You look at the situation, and yeah, exactly what you said. I think
Because
that's-
Mission Impossible 3 is one of the best ones, and because Mission Impossible 3, had it not been for that movie, that franchise might have been dead.
I agree 100, and not just the franchise. Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Because remember that came right after him jumping on the couch and acting the fool.
Yeah.
MI3 and Tropic Thunder saved Tom Cruise's career 100%. Because I like MI3, and Philip Seymour Hoffman is still the best villain of that whole series.
Yep.
You know?
Jean-Philippe Gorin. Hey guys, here's a fun question. What is worse as a motion picture, Superman 4 or Batman and Robin? I feel like Superman 4 is worse simply because Batman and Robin is hilarious. I think Batman and Robin is the better made movie. I think it's a better made film. They're both terrible. They're both written really bad, but they try to cut as many corners as they can with Superman 4. They tried to make Batman and Robin a production. It's a better made film. There's no doubt about it. And there's more quality actors in it. I mean, you got Gene Hackman returning in Superman 4, but they try to cut as many costs as they can in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, Batman and Robin. I've never finished Batman and Robin.
Oh, wait.
I only ever watched to the motorcycle scene with Alicia Silverstone. I walked out of the theater after that, and so I just never was a fan.
You should do a watch along on your channel for that.
I probably should do a watch along of that.
Yeah.
One, see how bad it is. But yeah, I would probably I would probably take that one over Superman 4 because Superman 4 was such a letdown.
Bad, yeah.
And Superman, the Batman movies were kind of moving towards a bad result. So
yeah. I think that was Christopher Reeve trying to get a little political with in that movie because he had producing powers and stuff too. So he was
commentary on nuclear war.
Stuff, John, you only 29 to hit your goal. 29.
Come on, guys, 29 more.
With 20
Let's
minutes
go.
to left. You're having a great performance here so far. DUI champ, Brother Rocha, Star Trek Section 31 trailer looks like awful shit. Your thoughts?
What? I thought it looked good. Really?
Yeah, he's not in a good mood today.
Oh wow. I'm sorry.
Bobby Jackson. Hey, John, Indiana Jones is available on PC, and it will be available on PS5 sometime next year. If you want to wait. Yeah.
Can I play it on like on your app, on your?
Said you play it on. You have a PC.
PC is like Windows stuff, right?
Yeah,
it's
you
like
have a Mac or you have a PC.
It's not Apple, right? It's not Mac, is it?
No, it's a PC. What are you 80 years old?
I can't tell anymore, guy.
Mr. XD. Support for Rocha. Got plan to watch The Brutalist? Yeah, I do have a plan to watch it. The question is, can I watch it? Have you seen it yet?
4 hours.
Is it?
Of course,
I
saw it.
It is 4. It is 4 hours, huh?
Yeah, I need to watch it. It's 3 hours and 45 minutes.
Why?
Because it's an epic film about a guy's incredible life.
Why? Why are you making it this long? It doesn't need to be 4 hours.
It's about architecture. Nobody can stand a lecture more than 20 minutes.
A flight is less than 4 hours. Joey Pedris has been a member for a month. Thank you, Joey. Curious about both of your takes on AI, not just in the film industry, but the world at large. Look, it's the bottom line is this. I agree with what most people say. The problem is not AI. The problem to me is going to be the way that humans use AI. That is
great point. Excellent point.
Yeah, that is my problem with it. I think that it's
excellent point, man.
That's the problem because it's like, look, if you can use a kind of technology that you can find that can get away to cancer faster than we can, then why in the world wouldn't you do that? Right? If you can find a way that, the question is like, who's going to abuse it and who's already abusing it? You know, it's like, so that's the issue. That's my stance on it. I think there's a lot of things that can be used for good on it, but it'll probably be used for bad more often than not. Dom coming in, who says 10,000 years ago is too far back for the Dune show, right? We get it. It takes place in the past. I had this conversation with him. He's, I do my exclusive live streams.
Oh yes.
And he's one of the guys that comes in a lot of the times when we talked about this. And I happen to agree with him that I think 10,000 years was too much. I think it was too much. Now look, one of the arguments could be that time doesn't work the same way there, the way it works here, as far as 10,000 years. But then
can I ask you what you're talking about? I just got a Diet Coke from my lady outlaw. I apologize.
Sorry.
What you say?
He said that 10,000 years ago is too far back for the Dune show. He said, we get it. It takes place in the past. I happen to agree with that. I think that you could have done 1,000 years and been fine, but they all have the same. It's like this. No, the technology hasn't really changed. The fact that they're still trying to run around in Arrakis doing the same thing with spices after 10,000. Nothing's changed. Look at how much civilizations, governments, and things have fallen in 10,000 years here. You know, so 10,000 years is a big number. It's a big number.
But look how many names are still around from when the world was.
Sure, names, but he's not talking about names. He's talking about technology. Technology is dramatically different.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
The technology is exactly the same from the movie as it is in the series. So I understand. I understand his point. It's a bit annoying. Gary Swift, do you get a Game of Thrones vibe from Dune Prophecy? Absolutely. And give a shout out for the UAP channel. Go to the UAP channel. It is Down to Earth with me, Kristian Harloff. I've been covering the drone stuff a lot. Probably be covering it a little bit more today if I can get to it. I
may have to come on there as a guest.
Sure.
One time and have you explain things to me, like where you're at, all of it.
Yeah.
If people put up with that, I'd be down.
Yeah. But as far as, do you get a Game of Thrones vibe from Dune Prophecy? Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Bobby Jackson. I don't watch WWE these days, but I just saw that Becky Lynch announced she's going to be on the new Starfleet Academy series. Is she any good as an actor? What's Starfleet?
Huh?
What's Starfleet Academy? What's that?
It's a new show with Holly Hunter and where they're basically like training the new generation of Academy people. God, I love that Becky's probably going to be a professor, I would imagine, or maybe she'll be one of the villains or something like that.
Okay.
So
I hope she's good. I mean, she's got a good personality. I always thought there were sometimes I like Becky Lynch as a performer in WWE, but I thought she overcooked it a lot sometimes. But that's wrestling. Sometimes in wrestling you have to overcook it. So who knows? That doesn't mean it's not going to that's what's going to happen in acting.
Yeah, I mean, I thought she was okay in the Billions episode she did.
Was she in that? Okay.
It wasn't as strong as I was hoping she'd be, but I mean, who knows? You got time, you got training. Batista got better as an actor. Who knows?
For sure. Yeah. For sure. And now that she's got time off, I thought she was a really great performer. I think she accomplished so many great things. I hope she stays away from the ring, not for any other reason except for her own health. So she, family-wise stuff, and because sometimes people go back to try to capture this glory that it's not there anymore for her. Like, she had a great moment when she had her moments. Right now, it's all about Rhea Ripley and Liv, and I don't think recapturing it is going to happen. I think she knows that. I think that's why she's going into acting. I think it's a very smart move by her.
I think her and Alexa Bliss should never come back.
Yeah, where's Blitz? What even happened to her? She's injured?
Yeah, Alexa's talking about coming back. Alexa never needs to come back. She did what she did. She won titles. Her coming back, I don't think would make any sense. It's a whole different ballgame now, the women's division. It's a whole nother. They all can wrestle in insane ways now. And not even the main rock, like down in NXT, what Sol Ruka is doing, it's incredible. So I think the time has passed for them to come back. It's not necessary.
Agreed. You're at 79, my friend. It's a good number.
Come on, guys. 21 away. Let's go.
I don't know. I would usually be pretty happy with that number. It's a big number. Stephanie Litz, are you excited Nikki Glaser is hosting the Golden Globes? I like Nikki Glaser. I like her a lot. I think she's a very I like her type of humor. Like, I was never a big Amy Schumer fan, right? Amy Schumer to me felt like forced shock. Nikki Glaser feels like real shock to me. Like, she feels like that's how, if you're sitting around cutting jokes with Nikki Glaser, it feels like that's the way she would be. I happen to really like Nikki Glaser, so I think she's gonna crush it.
I think Nikki radiates one of the boys while also being very clear that she's a woman in her point of view, right? And that works for her. So
yeah. Darth Tatter, I don't hear the OG Superman theme in this at all. Really?
What?
What are you talking about?
In the middle.
It's at the end.
Yeah, it's at the end as well.
It closes the whole thing.
Sorry, it's a 32-second clip. So yes, the end, middle. Yes, there it is.
He's joking. He's joking.
I hope so.
He's joking. It's like it's right at the end. Matt Thomas, Harloff, did you see the rumor Sony is seriously considering selling Spidey back to Marvel Disney via My Time to Shine? Comic Book Movie has the article. Yeah. That would be a very smart move for them. Overprice it, sell it to Marvel, oversell it to Disney, and say, all right, we'll give it back to you, and try to make your money back from losing all that money on Kraven and everything else too. Oversell it. Say, yeah, we'll sell it to you. Here you go. And sell it for a ridiculous amount of money, and then cut your losses.
Yeah. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Sell it. Like, that's a good thing you could do in the long run for the brand and for people's faith in you. Sell it. It'll be great. Keep a percentage. Like, no matter how much success they get, they still have to pay Sony a certain amount. That's the way you do it.
That's it. Mirjam, Serenity Moon. Hey, John, are you excited for the 4th episode of Skeleton Crew?
Yeah, very much so. Christian, you're loving the show, right?
I've seen the 2 episodes. I haven't watched the 3rd.
Oh my God. Who are you?
I know. It's funny. It's like I liked the first 2 and thought they were fine, but I had no desire to go back and watch it. I was like, I'll get to it when I get to it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like I'm kind of waiting. I know I'm going to be waiting for a long time, but I'm waiting for the Lucasfilm execs to retire. I know it's probably not going to happen, but
Good luck.
yeah. I think that'll happen before they make another movie. So Armada, Dice called him Dr. Egg Yolk. That's what he called him. Yeah, Dr. Egg Yolk. Dr. Egg Yolk. Darth Tatter. It's much more like Man of Steel, just with humming. No.
It has
Gladiator. It's got Gladiator Hans Zimmer, but it's absolutely, it closes with the Superman theme.
Oh.
Yeah, 100%. You got to, you might just not be familiar with the Superman theme. Yeah, you might just not be familiar with it. Bobby Jackson, so what did you think about Arcane Season 2? Loved it. Also, did either of you watch Carrey on Netflix with Jason Bateman and Taron Egerton? No, I haven't seen that, but I loved Arcane Season 2. It's like a Shakespearean freaking tragedy, that show. It's so damn good. Have you started it yet, John?
No. I'm going to do the watch-alongs. Oh. And I have an editor who's going to be editing my watch-alongs from season 1 through to season 2, so that'll probably be so damn good through January. So
yeah, I watched it. My daughter was like, had it been not for my daughter, I probably wouldn't have finished season 2 finally. But she was like, come on, Dad, I want someone to talk about this. She had blasted through it, and then she watched it with me, and it's like she's obsessed, absolutely obsessed. It's great. Callum Fadian, I caught a Dune 1 and 2 double bill at my local IMAX last weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great. What an experience. Was there for 6 hours. What's the longest you've spent in a cinema? I think that I did 6 hours, but I think it was when Ellis and I weren't getting invited to screenings yet, and we did a triple feature. So it was like boom, boom, boom. At the Grove, I think we started in the morning and then ended at, whenever that was. So yeah.
I think I did 9 or 10 hours at a film festival in DC years ago. Like I started the first film I think was at 9 or 10, and the last film ended at 7 or 8, something like that. But bathrooms are an issue. You try not to eat too much. So you're not shitting 2 or 3 times a day, and so you gotta gauge it correctly.
Yeah, I can't do it. Karen Vondermeeden. Hi.
Hey, Karen.
This is for Rocha.
Thank you, Karen.
What new HBO show are you guys most looking for next year? HBO show, probably the Game of Thrones one, the new Game of Thrones one.
Oh yeah, that one that's coming out. Yeah. Well, I mean, isn't
and Last of Us
season 2?
Last of Us season 2 is coming out too. That's probably up there too.
My number 1.
Yeah, I'd probably put that up there too. Okay, so let's see. Am I the only one that separates the Sony animation stuff from live action? They're great with the Spider-Verse, and though Venom made money, their live action is all bad to me. It feels like 2 separate things. Totally absolutely 2 separate things. Yeah, they have animation team and everything too, and the team that they're using for it is not the same team they're using for live action. 100%.
So I'm gonna ask real quick. So Hacks, Last of Us, The Pit. When you said Night of the Seven Kingdoms, that's the one that you're talking about. And It and Peacemaker. Welcome to Derry and Peacemaker.
Those are Peacemaker. I'd probably still go Last of Us season 2, but Peacemaker would probably be there, and then Game of Thrones. Because I don't know enough about the Game of Thrones series yet. I like being in that world, but Peacemaker season 2. I love Peacemaker season 1. Kristian, unpronounceable. Thank you. You guys looking forward to The Gorge as much as I am, which is a lot. Which one's The Gorge?
That's the one from Scott Derrickson with Anya Taylor-Joy and
yeah.
Miles Teller.
Sure. I mean, I think you're probably looking, not you, but the guy's probably looking forward to it more. Yeah.
The trailer was 3 minutes, showed most of the trailer. I wanted to like it more than I did. So I'm cautiously looking forward to it, but I'm not as excited about it. I mean, they found the 2 prettiest hitmen. They happen to be on opposite sides, happen to fall in love. I mean, there's a little bit of the come on factor to it, but we'll see.
So this is hilarious on one side of things. Haskell 420 says the soundtrack spoiler Rocky 3 album, which I still have Mickey's song. So sad. We knew he was dying before the film came out. Not necessarily on that, because he just says Mickey's song. Yes, look, I was young enough that if I heard that and saw Mickey's song, I wouldn't know at that point. However, Your next point, though, Ed, he says, then for Rocky IV, that I remember this clear as day. The Newsday review on page 3 spoiled that Apollo Creed dies. I remember that. I remember where I was when I read that. I was in a room in my old house in Queens when that happened. I remember that Newsday clear as day. So yeah, that Newsday thing, that and that stupid Entertainment Weekly that spoiled the Gary Oldman thing in Harry Potter, which is the other thing.
Oh wow, that's right.
I was so pissed off. I don't ever write a letter. I almost wrote a letter. Darth Tatter. Maybe if we get more in the teaser, I'll hear it. You really did. How do you know? I want to play it.
I know we were allowed to play it. We go beat by beat.
Can I play it? Can I play it at like the very end? I want
to. Yeah, you're allowed. 6 seconds.
I want to play like the very end of it. Like,
okay.
Just the very end of it.
You
won't be able to hear it, John, because
Darth. Oh, I won't hear it. Okay.
You won't be able to hear it, but they'll be able to hear it. Let me just. Where the hell is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, just the end. Yeah, it's literally. Listen, ready? How do you not hear that? It's clear as day. It's clear as day. You're busting my chops, Darth Tatter. There's no way you didn't hear that. Tox 1 Carnage. I don't know if you have Discord or not, but it would be a great platform for community discussion. Also, Superman poster has me excited. I can't even tell you how many people try to talk me into the Discord. We had one for Schmodown. We had one for SEN. I was clueless inside of them. And then when PLD, when we started this, he's like, we did Discord. I was like, I'll never be in it. And I don't want to do that to the fans and tell them I'll never be there. I don't. It's never going to happen. All right. Next one is JJ Skywalker. What's the scariest book that you guys have ever read? I mean, the first, it's pretty scary.
The Shining.
Oh, it's a scary one too. Yeah.
And Dead Zone. I mean, I remember being super scared of Dead Zone, but you're absolutely right. It is the one that fucking
pretty bad. Yeah. Darth Tatter coming back in. Very excited for this movie though. I love you guys. Thank you, Darth Tatter. I wonder if he heard it. I wonder if he heard it now. Mike Joyce, finish Batman and Robin. It's the most fun bad movie ever. Nah, The Room is the best fun bad movie ever.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. And which Andreas IB. Did you guys enjoy Arcane? I did. And Rook hasn't seen it yet, but one. They're both great. Dancing Dog 60. Kristian and John, a film worth revisiting is Judgment Night with Emilio Estevez and Everlast, by the way, from House of Pain.
I love that.
Yeah, directed by Stephen Hopkins after Predator 2. It's a chilling thrill. Oh, I remember that movie well, and I was a big House of Pain fan, so I knew that Everlast was going to be in it. So that's why I saw it right away.
Isn't Ice-T in that too? And
I think so.
I think he's in it. He's one of the guys chasing him down. I think.
But it's definitely Everlast.
Totally.
Rasta Sloth. Kristian, are you going to watch and cover Stephen Greer's new documentary that dropped today on a Prime called Battle to Disclosure? I'm like so torn on Greer. I don't really know what to make of him. Like I don't really know what to make of him. What?
UAP stuff?
Yeah, it's UAP stuff. So I don't know what to make of him. Like a lot of times he says stuff and I'm just like, oh my God, if this guy's telling the truth, we're all in for it. Then there's other times I'm like, there's no way he can be telling the truth. I don't know. I don't know what to make of Greer. So the answer is I probably will watch it. Well, I don't know. But James Fox is, John, this is something for you. Like that I would say. So James Fox, who's he just made a documentary about the program, which is the reverse engineering program that was talked about in the UAP hearing a month ago. And he talked about all the stuff leading up to it. It's called The Program. It's James Fox. Just watch this documentary. It's 2 hours, and it's about everything that's kind of going on right now, leading up to everything that's happening right now.
Okay.
Josh, what?
I might have to do that. Yeah.
Josh Needle. You know what? Why don't you watch that, and then you can come on the other channel, and we'll talk about that.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
2024 was a lot busier than usual for me, so I've only seen 15 movies in total, and most were franchise films. Usually I see around 50 or more. So far, both of you, what are your 5 must-see movies this year? Ooh. must see. I mean, I'll give you the first one that comes to mind is Dune 2. That's a must see.
Oh, from this year?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go a little more serious. I just saw September 5.
Oh yeah.
I thought it's a 90-minute incredible exploration of what happened in 1972 to the Israeli Olympic team at the hands of terrorists. It's phenomenal. So I think that's a must see. I agree with you on Dune Part 2 for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. The other ones we're gonna put out lists and stuff too, and I really don't know yet on the must sees. I mean, if you're musical, I think Wicked's a must see. If you're a musical fan, for sure. Jedi Master for Life. Oh, and same thing. Like if you're a Bob Dylan fan, I think that
A Complete Unknown. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Saw it again.
Yeah. So you've seen it twice?
Twice. I'll probably see it again. I love the movie.
This might be a stupid question. The prophecy in Dune Prophecy, isn't it about Paul? I don't know. I don't know enough yet to see the whole show yet. He said that in Prophecy, Dune Prophecy is the third movie, right?
No, Dune Prophecy is the series. It's on right now.
So wait, what's the name of the third movie? Check what the third movie's called.
I think it's Electric Boogaloo.
No. What's the third movie called? Dune 3. You tell me what the third one is called, and then we'll say.
Dune 3.
What's it called?
Messiah. Dune Messiah.
Okay, so Prophecy. I don't know. Yeah, They haven't mentioned Paul Atreides at all. Dancing Dog 60. What's worse, Battleship or Independence Day 2? Independence Day 2.
Battleship.
Really? They're both bad. Roland Emmerich really lost his way, it seems. I love the original ID4. What say you? Yeah, I love the original. Is a great blockbuster.
Oh, you guys are insane. It isn't that good of a movie. Independence Day 2 was fun. And Independence Day is a fun movie, but it wasn't like it wasn't. Like
it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous movie, but I enjoy it. The second one is dog shit. Current Emperor puts 100 plus, trying to get you there. 95, John. 95. Yeah.
Let's go.
But we have, and let's see, and I'm right now. I'm at the questions from 246, so you still have a chance to get there before we wrap up. Dancing Dog 60. We need a live action Thing versus Hulk battle. Yes, that'd be cool.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That'd be cool. But I want to see Rage Hulk come back. I don't want Intelligent Hulk anymore. I'm over it.
Yeah.
Go, pal. The idea of technology and humanity stagnating in Dune after the Butlerian jihad is kind of one of the big themes.
We don't know that yet, though, right?
Yeah, so I'm not sure. Maybe.
If casual observers aren't getting that, that's the thing you're losing out on. So
right. You got to let people know that. DUI champ. Wife dragged me to the Rockettes, Snoresville. Manhattan traffic was jammed, and it's pouring. Your show took me from the tunnel to my house. I love that. I mean, I think the Rockettes also, it's great for, like, the family, though, too. Like, I want to take my kids to see it again, but they're fucking expensive, those tickets. Holy shit.
Of course, the Rockettes.
God, go, pal. I think they went that far back to show the start of the great schools where the humans trained to fill the roles the thinking machines used to fill. Yeah, I mean, I love that idea of all the battles with the machines and stuff.
Yeah, all the families are still there. The Atreides, the Harkonnens, all of that stuff is there.
Let me give this to you here, John. It's me, Steve. Who wins the Royal Rumble next year? Also, Fly Eagles. Stop that. So, yeah, as far as Royal Rumble, do you think they're going to give it? Do you think Cody's not really hurt? No way.
No, well, of course not. That's all it works.
Yeah. You think he's going to win it again?
Who wins the Royal Rumble? Oh God, I hope not. He's already the champion. He can't win it again.
You don't think they're going to strip him of the title?
Oh yeah, if they at WrestleMania, do you think that's going to happen?
I think they're going to strip him of the title now. I think they're going to strip him of the title.
Now?
Yeah, I think they're going to strip him of the title now. Give it to somebody. I would love if they keep that winged eagle belt. Let Kevin Owens keep it, and then you have Cody come back at win the Royal Rumble again. But they're going to They're going to have him tie Stone Cold.
It might be Jay, depending on how they build him up. It might be Jay.
Trying so hard to get Jay Uso over as the main eventer. It ain't working.
I don't know.
I like him too. It's the same conversation we just had about what's her face,
Ariana DeBose.
Yes, it's like the guy is not a main event guy. He's not. He's terrible on the microphone when it comes to really long things he's got to say. He was given a shot at a main event type match when he fought his brother, and it was god awful.
It was horrific.
Horrific. That guy is not a main event guy, even though that's his nickname. Stephanie Litz. Thoughts on Conan O'Brien hosting the Oscars? Is that true?
Yeah.
Great.
I love the idea.
Great.
I love it.
Yeah, the guy's a natural born host, obviously. So yeah,
Yep.
great. Dark Tatter. Oh, okay. I hear it there now, and it's blended well. Okay, it's blended super well. It really is. You gotta hear it. Like it's like, oh, there it is. Yeah, totally. There it is. Michael McKenzie. Hey guys, did you see the new Naughty Dog game Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet? Are you bummed it's not The Last of Us 3? No, I didn't see that yet, but I like Naughty Dog and what they do. But no, I didn't see that.
Let's take a look at that one.
Yeah, no shit. Drew914. Sony needs to send the Spider-Verse back to Marvel. Enough with the nonsense. I mean, if you believe the rumor, seems like that could happen. I think that would be very smart for them. Jalen Turner. A new report came out that Sony wants to sell the rights of Spider-Man back to Sony. That's going to be, I mean, I guess that's tomorrow's big headline. Is what we'll talk about on the show. Oh, yeah. Nick Piccolo. Congrats on the Yankees acquiring Devin Williams from Milwaukee. Yeah, did you hear that we got? That happened the other day. We needed a closer, man.
Goodbye, Soto. Who cares? We got money now.
Yeah, 100%. They're going to use all their money on other people. I'm a Brewers fan, so even though it sucks losing Devin, we need starting pitching, and I hope he does well in New York. Dude does great stuff. He really does. He really does. So that'll be good. Okay. Dark Tatter. I was hoping they would nod to it. It just threw me off by the way they blended it. Love the Man of Steel's theme, though. It's undeniable now. Yes, my bad. No, all good, man. I thought you were goofing with us at first. I wasn't sure, but yeah, it's like it does blend in very well. Jedi Master for life. Hey, big shots over here with the. Hey, big shots over here with the da na 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 na. So good. Day Napper. What's the most expensive dinner tab you've been part of? I was in Vegas. For some kid who went to Florida State. His dad had us all come out at Caesar's Palace. He was a high roller. We paid for nothing. Wow. I think there wasn't a lot of people at the dinner. It was like $10,000 dinner. It was crazy. You know, it was really good. Johnny was spit up. It was crazy.
I've never been that I know of.
No, it was crazy. I at the time couldn't afford $10, so I was happy to be there. So
I had the wing, so I'm only going to give 20.
Yeah, I'm here. I was invited, I swear. J Mobile. I would welcome Sony selling Spidey back to Marvel Disney. Their game, Spider-Verse, have been so big, I can't imagine they'd lose those income streams. Depends on how much. Yeah, because like if they can sell it back, make some money for it, why not? Maybe they're just like, F this. They know what they're doing. They want them back. Take your money and let's run. Michael McKenzie, did you hear Ice-T's take on Comfortably Numb? No.
Yes, I heard it over the weekend. Incredible.
Did he rapped over it Comfortably Numb?
Yeah, he had the approval of Gilmore.
That's
like
crazy.
It was incredible.
Brad Gilmore?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Kristian Unpronounceable. What's your thoughts on Butler as Patrick Bateman? I can't remember who said it. I feel
Austin.
Yeah, you didn't hear this?
Oh no, yeah. So we talked about it on Hot Mic. Yeah.
I think it was Roxy who said it. I agree with her. The movie does not need to be. No, it was Clark Wolf. Wolf. The movie does not need to be remade. I know it's based off the book, but I don't think it needs to be remade. I just don't.
I have to disagree. I don't think the movie's that good. It's what we said on the Hot Mic. Jeff agreed with me. I don't think the movie's that good. He's good. The movie itself is kind of. I get what it's going for, but it doesn't fully accomplish it. So I think a different creator with this much time, having that Mary Herron film, and then also maybe revisiting the Bret Easton Ellis and how our gender dynamics and gender politics have changed, it could be a very interesting take on that story nowadays.
We'll see. I mean, I like the kid. He's good actor. Although Timothy Chalamet to me after that Bob Dylan performance is like the guy.
I agree.
He's like 100. The guy. Yeah. Dancing Dog 60. Will Belichick flop at UNC?
Yes.
Yeah. Those coaches never transfer over that way. People forget. Was he a great coach? Yes. He had arguably the greatest quarterback of all time. In the same way, Phil Jackson never really got it done after he had Michael. He had Shaq, he had Kobe, he had Jordan. But that doesn't take anything away from their coaching abilities. There's a lot of people who had those types of talents and didn't do anything with them. But it's not just because of the guy. He's got to have the right tools. And the question is he going to have it? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He's not going in there at 72 years old into the houses of these kids, and that's nonsense.
No. Almost made a joke, but I didn't. Monica R. was planning to see Kraven tonight. Now I'm scared. Maybe I should see Wicked again. You're probably better off if you got to spend your money on it. Yeah.
Go see Wicked again.
Yeah. Don't spend your money on it. Eric Krempa. Rocha.
No.
Trespass had iced tea.
Oh, Trespass. Sorry, good call, Eric.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was
Yes,
say, I
you're
don't
right.
remember him being.
They
in that.
came out at the same time.
Yeah, it was general area. It was the film about the firefighters that tried to steal the treasure from the hood, directed by Walter
Bill
Hill.
Paxton. With Bill Paxton,
written by Zemeckis and Bob Gale. There you go.
I like Trespass. That's good.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. You got one question left here.
Where are we at?
I'll tell you in a second. Dancing Dog 60. After seeing Anora, I'm convinced that there needs to be more nudity in mainstream films. It was a throwback to the 70s. Come on. We're all adults here. All right.
Hey, a great point you make. Anora was fantastic. Mikey Madison was sexy as hell in that movie. And I agree with you. Now, a lot of people be like, well, Rocha, aren't you such a prude about Creature Commandos? Creature Commandos, it didn't make sense. It was too whatever you want to call it. They were just trying to take advantage of the situation. In Anora, it makes sense because it's about what's going on in the show, or in the film rather, and it advances the plot, and you understand why this guy is caught up in the thing, and then you understand why she reacts the way she reacts. So it all makes sense. So I'm all for nudity and sex coming back in movies as long as they make situational sense. So that's the difference there between Creature Commandos and I thought it was exposing it for unnecessary reasons of Creature Commandos, whereas in Anora it makes total sense why it's happening.
All right, so if we hit our goal before we sign off of 100, right, John?
Yeah.
If we hit it, would you rather me play Arnie singing a song or Stallone singing a song to celebrate?
Stallone. What is this?
Listen.
Budweiser, you created a monster, and they call him freaking Stein.
It's from the Dolly Parton movie, Rhinestone.
Oh my God.
The best. It's Stallone singing Rhinestone. Congratulations. You literally ended at 100. Look at you. See, I knew how. Look at that. Look at you. Even made your own little design there for yourself. 100 to start off the week. A pissed off Rocha is not someone you want to mess with, as he gets the Superman trailer to lead with, or not even the trailer. Well, that's the only thing. Whoever gets the trailer on Thursday, that'll be Steph. Steph's going to get the actual trailer itself. So we'll see. You know about you're gonna partner up with Steph. So John did it with 100. Now Roxy's got to try to. Now everyone's going to try to catch up to that. That is not going to be easy. No one's hit 100 in quite a while. So John did it on a Monday. Big props.
Gotta go good again.
Where can they find you, John?
You can find me at The Rocha Says on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. The Outlaw Nation on Twitch. Well, maybe I'll get that Indiana Jones game and finally play it. But it's really my YouTube channel, youtube.com/John Rocha Says. Please come over there, people. We're about to cross 36,000. Want to get to 50 as soon as I can. Eventually 100, hopefully by the end of next year. That's the goal. So come and take a look at all the content we got going on there. A lot of fun going on there as well. And people with multiple points of views expressing themselves. So please head on over there to enjoy all the great content we have there on the Outlaw Nation. Then thanks, Kristian.
Thanks.
Another great Monday with you, brother.
Yeah, it was really good. I'd like to give thanks to John Rocha and, of course, Galaxy Geeks, who we have to now probably edit out 2 pieces of music for this stream. So thanks to John. Thanks to all you guys. Thanks for being here today. Apple Podcasts, anywhere podcasts are found. If you didn't subscribe to our clips channel, please do so. We got a lot of great clips from all of our interviews. It looks like, and I'll jinx myself just in case, it looks like I got Sean Gunn this Friday. At least I'm going to be recording this Friday. So Sean Gunn will probably be on next week, but I'm going to record this Friday. So Sean Gunn this week. I have a lot of other guests that we're working on that will just knock you guys out. We're working on some really, really good ones. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. Thank you guys for joining us here tonight. I'll have an out of the theater reaction of Mufasa tonight. You guys rule. Appreciate you. And check out our wonderful sponsors. Links are in the description. See you on the flip side. Bye.